сухариками. Чем сегодня займемся? В смысле, не сегодня, а сейчас, потому что за сегодня это уже вторая часть стрима по майну. Итак, я построил мост через джунгли. В подводный данж пойти. Уф. А что там делать вообще? Я не хочу. Там сложно. Губку. Построить дом из стекла внутри лавового моря в аду. Сколько майн стоит? 1200, ну, последний раз я видел. Но это была распродажа. Ну, с шалкерами все нормально. Кто-то забрал 4 ящика. Там торговец, даже 2. Там я слышал, что кто-то убил Ливоч, по-моему, да? Или Токсик. Кто-то убил высушителя, короче. Значит, у нас уже есть факел. Тут у нас березки. Точнее, уже не березки. Уже елочки. Я не хочу никуда идти, не хочу какую-то большую фигню строить. Я просто хочу ходить, копать деревья. Копать, рубить. Как это ты ни разу не убивал? Это надо фиксить. Я нового сушителя тоже не убивал. Он жесткий, капец какой. Его бафнули пипец просто как сильно. Раньше, блин, просто одно зелье и все, типа, закинулся с силой. И все, и зарашил его, все. Готово. Сейчас его хрен так убьешь. Он пипец какой жесткий. Он очень сильный сейчас. Шлагобок мне надо сделать. Но для этого нужно этих водные блоки, ни хрена. Какая большая ликиль. Розата стрим. Спасибо за фоллоу. Добро пожаловать. Да, его типа можно в бедрок забить. Там еще есть баг, что можно его зафиксировать в одной точке. И он не будет атаковать ничего, кроме стены. Это используют для фермы. Вы представляете? В фермах используют долбаного иссушителя. Они фиксируют его в одной точке, используя баг. И он стреляет им в одну стену снова и снова, чтобы разрушать блоки, и они падают, чтобы их собирать. Просто представьте, вот просто вдумайтесь в это. До чего докатилось, блин, фермоводство в Майнде. Я просто охренел, когда это увидел. А вообще, давайте сейчас посмотрим видосики по майну. Там... Я только 2 части посмотрел. Я просто сидел и охреневал. Ладно. Пошли смотреть видосики реально. Сейчас я вам покажу. Это просто нечто. Я не знаю, когда описать. А кто-то открепил эту фигню. Фак.
Всем привет, меня зовут...
Сначала я наткнулся на вот эту фигню. Так, музыку выключу. Сначала я наткнулся на вот эту вот фигню. На это вот видео. Сначала это выглядит как...
Всем привет,
как, ну, очередной Майнкрафт стример, да? Стример, ютубер. Но то, что я здесь увидел, вот это вот, меня просто поразило.
Меня зовут Дмитрий. Я смотрю, вам понравился топ самых мощных ферм железа в Майнкрафте.
Вот я просто увидел вот это количество дверей. Понятное дело, что они уже устарели, сейчас деревни по-другому работают, но просто вдумайтесь, 40 слитков в час, да?
А, вы его еще...
Так
Я
вот.
полагаю, многим в особый этап выживания не хватало дерева.
В общем, да. Он здесь показывает настолько крутые фермы дерева, что просто уму непостижимо. Типа, обычная ферма дерева, вот это вот первая, да?
После продолжительной работы фермы у вас появляется огромный запас дерева, который остается срубить топором. Я вижу, вам не нравится работать топориком. Тогда 4-го места вы будете без ума. Ферма начинается с привычной автоподачи костной муки, но вместо того, чтобы складировать
Посмотрите на это
дерево,
дерьмо.
оно попадает в комнату из обсидиана. И вот тут
Это
как
какой-то
раз таки
Гуррен
начинается
Лаганн,
шоу.
блин.
Неподалеку от нас располагается ферма мобов и система их сортировки, которая сама по себе очень любопытное изобретение. Из этой
Это все еще ферма дерева.
Система выбирает криперов, доставляя их в обсидиановую комнату. Там они детонируют, взрывая стволы деревьев. А потом весь лут благополучно попадает к нам в сундук. Да, 4-е место очень интересный концепт, но мы не можем задерживаться долго у него. Давайте же взглянем на 3-е место. Ферма, которая изменит ваше понимание об автоматике. В данном концепте главной действующей единицей являетесь вы. Для того, чтобы начать получать дерево, вам необходимо зажать кнопку атаки, держа в руке топор. Далее садимся в свой трон. Нет, на самом деле это просто вагонетка, но не суть. Оставляем это все дело на несколько минут. Система будет вас нести по заданному пути, а вы будете только собирать дерево. Плюс данной системы в том, что вам не нужен визор для сбора, и вы не сможете совершить...
Вам не нужен визор для сбора.
Роковую ошибку. Ой, кажется, я проболтался о следующей ферме. Ну тогда бегом смотреть на нее. На 2-м месте находится ферма с личным дровосеком.
У меня просто мозг взорвался, когда я об этом узнал. Как об этом? Как? Вот мне просто представить сложно, как люди додумались использовать визора в качестве добычи долбаного дерева.
Да, вам, как и в позапрошлой ферме, необходимо стоять и высаживать саплинги. Но вдрубить их самостоятельно опять же не требуется. За вас это будет делать самый настоящий визор. Данная ферма построена на баге или фиче, тут уже сами решайте, которая позволяет заморозить визора на одном месте и заставить его стрелять в сторону стены. Да, ферма опасная, но довольно прибыльная. За час вы получите до 6000 блоков дерева. Что? Вам мало такого количества? Ладно, тогда представляю вашему вниманию первое место. Данная громадина может обеспечить вас 19 тысячами блоков дерева в час. Естественно, все это будет добываться в автоматическом режиме с помощью визора. Самостоятельно столько добыть, наверное, сложновато будет. Ну, свихнуться с такого точно можно. Что ж, если вам понравился топ, то обязательно поставьте лайк и подпишитесь.
Он не рассказал самое главное об этой ферме. Я потом наткнулся. Точнее, я потом кликнул вот на эту ссылку внизу. Про эту ферму. Вондрит сейчас каждое слово поймет, но я ни слова не понимал, но я понимал, насколько это мощно. Это видео туториал, собственно, по этой ферме. Game tick аккурат тайминг. Это значит, что тайминги этой фермы четко рассчитаны под игровые тики. То есть в Майнкрафте тики это такая система, когда тик проходит, что-то происходит. То есть не может... Тики это как скорость света в Майнкрафте. Не может происходить вещи быстрее, чем тики. То есть тики это скорость света. Для Майнкрафта. И вы посмотрите, насколько гениальна эта ферма. Это просто нечто. Это просто... Сейчас все увидите. Zero tick. То есть нулевые тики. Механика, которая позволяет без тиков провоцировать сигнал. Zero tick генератор это по факту генератор нулевого тика. То есть они бьют быстрее, чем происходит тик. Сейчас увидите, как он работает. Вот, видите? То есть он по факту высовывается и сразу же засовывается. То есть он быстрее, чем тик происходит. Это нулевого тика. Генератор нулевого тика. То есть это вот генераторы, все вот это вот. Новая механика нанесения урона визору. Вот это, да. То есть он, собственно... Это рамка портала в край, если кто не понял. Мэдди ТВ, 24 месяц, 2 года. Спасибо огромнейшее за такую долгую поддержку. Спасибо за 2 года. Спасибо. Triple Pistol Extender. Пистон. То есть это пистон, пистон, пистон. То есть 3 штуки, чтобы они выдвигались. Вы посмотрите, как оно двигается. И как это вообще возможно? Я даже не знаю, как построить хотя бы просто 3, чтобы они работали вместе. 2, ладно, 3 они... Я вообще... А они тут в ряд все идут. Как это? Посмотрите на это. Посмотрите, как они... Чё это за говно? Как оно работает? Что там было написано? Цикл требует 24 игровых тика. Там кто-то говорил, что в 1 секунде 20 тиков, да? Оно все работает на нулевом тике. Это просто... И да, эта ферма еще рассчитана на разные типы деревьев. На разные типы деревьев. Джунглевые деревья. Я не понимаю, на самом деле, как уничтожается листва. Типа она прижимается и... Lag friendly lag mod. Что это значит, я не понимаю. Типа на дубовые растения. Посмотрите, что он делает. Это как это вообще? Вон, там даже переключатели есть, вы понимаете? Там даже выключатели есть режимов. Экономичный режим. Что? Для сохранения костной муки. Ферма кактусов на 0 тик поршнях. И вот на этом моменте я вообще выпал, когда я смотрел. Спасибо за 600 подписчиков. 600 подписчиков! Вот такая ферма! Ладно, у него сейчас там 200 тысяч, да? Просто вдумайтесь, 600 подписчиков. Такой гениальный ум. А, ну сейчас он ее будет строить и объяснять. Ну, 1,5 часа длится, охренеть. Ну ладно, это мы не будем смотреть. Мы будем смотреть кое-что получше. Это самый безумный мир, который я когда-либо вообще видел. Они все это делали в сурвайвале. Я смотрел только 2 части из 4, так что половину я еще даже не буду видеть. В смысле, я ее не видел даже. Так что первые 2 части я смотрел. SciCraft называется. Он говорит, что они сконцентрированы на том, чтобы выбивать максимальный профит из всего, что возможно в этом мире. И они просто взрывают мозг. С самого первого кадра в этом мире понятно, насколько он гениальный. Я сделаю замечание. Это ванила. Вот видео. Это ванила. И они сделали вот эту карту на весь экран. Помните мою идею, что если разложить карту, сделать карту и разложить кубики на всей карте в один цвет, то можно сделать текстуру этого цвета. Посмотрите на вот эту картинку. Это ванила. Они сделали долбанную карту, которая отображает местность, на которой разложены вот эти вот блоки, которые делают вот такой вот текстуру картинки. И они сделали такую карту, которая отображает в точности их метро, которое показывает долбанный их мир. Вы понимаете, насколько много блоков для этого нужно делать? Я вам объясню. Я решил сделать на нашем складе, собственно, вот там, помните, ковер, да? На полу. Я рассчитал, что нужно 11,5 сундуков гравия и 11,5 сундуков песка, чтобы... Это что получается 22, 23? 23 сундука стаков блоков на то, чтобы заполнить один сектор карты минимальный. 23 сундука. Это очень много. Это очень много. Это вы посмотрите на это дерьмо. Посмотрите на это. Я просто не могу. Это просто нечто. Охренеть просто, охренеть.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, how many maps is this? That's
25.
25? Они сказали. Сколько это?
25.
25.
640 by 640 blocks.
600. 6 это у нас 600. 600 блоков, короче. 600 на 600. 600 в квадрате. 640. 640 в квадрате, это получается 409 тысяч блоков. 409 тысяч блоков эта карта.
It's about 420,000, I think.
wow.
Quick math.
And you had to color.
Он только что сказал, что это 409 тысяч блоков. Серьезно?
I'm assuming it's not to
Они
scale,
гении,
but they're
это
kind of
просто, я не
suggestions
знаю, у меня в голове не
as well.
укладывается, насколько они
So
гениальны.
you kind of got the city area in the middle is just all the closer farms.
Yep.
And some of the destinations are up to almost 10,000 blocks away. But yeah, this is not the scale, it's just like a subway map.
Я даже не могу понять, что они говорят.
This is
And-
absolutely beautiful. This
And
is
every
so
line you
beautiful.
see here is a piston bolt here in the network.
Да
in the
это
nether,
все
and
только
then, of course,
начало.
in the overworld,
Ты
it's
дальше смотри.
10,000 times 8 away, so even more.
Yeah.
Типа
Wow.
то, что они сделали
That's
такую карту
serious.
метро,
Alright,
это
so
только
let's-
начало.
Let's finally look at the
Вот эта картинка прикольная.
first, which let's finally look at
Типа это такой пиксель-арт глобальный. Блин, это next level пиксель-арта. Ну, посмотрите на это. Причем на нем изображено, как вы думаете, что? Точная копия того, что там есть. Видите вот эту вот ведьму и очень мелкое... Вы думаете, что это большое изображение дома на фоне Майнкрафта? По факту это именно то, что там есть.
first witch farms because we had to, well, rebuild things a little bit.
Yep.
So, yeah, things changed. Some people who might remember the old server tours knew there was multiple versions of rooms around the portal here. But this is actually still our quad witch perimeter, just that things got changed quite a bit. So,
This is making my eyes go a bit funny in terms of like, it's difficult to judge scale right now.
Yep.
Because everything's so massive.
I mean, if you want to
looking
take a
around?
sense of scale, you can always fly out a little
Yeah.
bit. You need to put your armor on. Lucky that there's slime at the bottom.
I was about to say.
I didn't plan that. Totally not.
That's amazing.
See, we come prepared.
I'm
so you
very
can
happy
place all
that
that slime.
you slimed the entire area just for me. Just in case.
It's actually not for you.
Да, это тоже, кстати, интересное замечание, что у них там есть специальные машины для того, чтобы выкапывать большие местности.
This is one of the witch farms.
Это
I mean,
просто
for my
нечто.
baby little witch farm that I'm building on the Hermitcraft server. I'm using this exact design, if I remember correctly, if I'm just looking at it. But yeah, or at least very, very similar to it. So yeah, I'm familiar with that one. But obviously, I've only done one, whereas you guys have got 4 in an enormous.
And a few more. Be prepared.
Well, we got 4 of them here.
Жаль
Yeah,
еще,
those are
что
all
непонятно,
quad
что они говорят.
perimeter, which was
Часть
originally
из
a
этого.
reason to choose the seed.
Yep.
So maybe we should also head down. Maybe someone in the meantime can turn on the farms.
Ну, типа, если у них так много людей активных, то, в принципе, это понятно, как они это все достигали.
About 5 million blocks.
5 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was actually a hand dug 4 years ago.
No.
Yeah.
You 5
Completely
million
in
blocks
thick
by
access.
hand.
I mean, that's actually not that much into.
Что он говорит?
5
Completely
million
in
blocks
thick
by
access.
hand.
5 миллионов,
I mean, that's actually not
5 миллионов
that
блоков
much in terms of perimeter volume.
ручной работы.
What? I'm seeing a lot of witches. I'm in spectator mode now, and I'm seeing a lot of witches drop out the bottom already. And so there's 4 of these. I mean, how many
Да-да-да,
how many items
выкопаны
are you getting
вручную.
from these things?
One is about 6,200 at max, and these are about 6,100
Wow. Okay.
items.
Хайнс
That's,
со
that's
вкусом
a lot of
сметаны.
stuff. That's a lot of items.
Почему такой
Where
Not
do you store
really.
this
соус
stuff?
не
One
продается
of the
в больших
slowest farms,
банках?
actually. That's the reason why we built more of them.
So wait, so this is one of the slowest farms. you
Это
said?
одна из самых медленных ферм, которые вообще они создали.
Right.
Они создали потом еще лучше. Все это видео посвящено фармам долбанных ведьм. Фермам.
The farms were way too slow for our redstone needs, and that's why we built all the stuff we showed today on the server tour.
Yeah, and also one of these produces only about 775 redstone an hour, which is
Right.
not enough for us.
So you need more than that. So you're actually using more than 775 redstone an hour on the This is like the miles per when you're buying a car.
Эта ферма вырабатывает 1720 красной пыли в час, и этого им недостаточно было.
For 4 years now, and we ran them for easily over 500 hours. But currently we are out of redstone dust.
That's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we need like probably 500,000 redstone dust.
Самое удивительное, что им действительно нужны эти фермы, чтобы делать какие-то другие вещи. Это не просто так. Это вообще жесть. Ну, скинь чё.
As you said, we're out of redstone dust, so one quad widget just doesn't cut it. We're constantly running low, and had issues getting enough redstone dust. That's why we decided to add more widgets. And
Блин, этот соус
obviously
прикольный.
we only have one widget on this seed or map.
Yep.
The next best thing would be a triple widget, which the nearest one was over 1 million blocks away, so it wasn't feasible to go there.
Да-да-да.
And that's why we decided to use the double
Всё верно.
widgets, which you usually find around every 10,000 blocks in a normal world. And we added a lot of double widgets additionally to the quad widget. And if you here on the map, you can see it. The widgets icons always indicate one double widget, and in total we have 20 now. You can also, next
20
travel to
ферм.
those locations. Check it out.
У них есть 20 ферм этих ведьм. Посмотрите на эту скорость. Мне интересно еще, как у них так не лагает на такой скорости. Типа у нас на этом, на Реалме, лагает сразу же, как только ты двигаешься на долбанной по льду на лодке.
That's Jamin.
How did they do that? Is that just you kind of take an image that you've created in Photoshop or something, then use a program and then just place it block by block? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
So
Yeah, so this is of course a double perimeter only.
Yep.
As I mentioned before, well, the portal is in one of the farms, and you might actually notice there's quite a big tower built around each of these farms.
Yep.
Which seems a bit unnecessary. And if you also fly somewhere to the side of this huge pad here that everything's built on.
Да, с таким интро.
Jump on that one.
Okay, yeah, let's
Им еще прогрузку чанков
You can also
нужно.
show the edges of the perimeter to show how low down they are.
Я повторяю, это
So
survival.
first we bombed everything here with world eaters,
Это все survival.
Yep.
basically to bedrock, exactly, and then actually refilled it again using a large cobble generator with flying machines to push everything in order to fill essentially the first sub-chunk.
Мне кажется, если они настолько крутые вещи делают, они должны обладать колоссальным просто умом и иметь такую работу, которая позволяет,
About
собственно,
16 million blocks in volume.
иметь такие сервера.
And I mean that is this is a ridiculous.
It's basically a full render distance. As far as the server renders chunks, we removed everything. 528 with 528 blocks.
And
Down to bedrock.
and so was this automated by flying machines or was this by hand as well?
By flying machines,
Okay.
of course.
Thank
We
goodness.
used TNT tubing,
Это сделано летающими
TNT tubing
машинами.
machines that you also used on your episode, I think.
С
Flying over, bombing stuff down, and then we also have sweepers at the bottom that get rid
С
of the liquids
динамитами.
that pop up, so the TNT can destroy the blocks below liquids as well. And that way it's mostly automated.
Летающие машины с
There are, of
динамитами —
course,
это
some
те,
obsidian
которые
blocks
на
here and there.
слаймах.
We have to remove by
Они
hand,
сами
but
двигаются
everything else, the
и
machine
сами
the
взрываются.
machine does everything else.
And how long did that take? So in terms of just sheer machines moving time.
In the beginning, we made the perimeter in 36 hours to remove everything. But yeah, we got better over time, and now we got the time down to 8 hours to make one of those complete perimeters.
8 hours? That's not even bad.
8 hours, yeah.
I'm-
But we had a group of 10, 15 people
11
working on
часов
it,
на вот это
but
все
in 8
ушло.
hours, we got from normal terrain to everything bombed out.
And so are you just getting much better at building the flying machines? Is that it, or is there?
Yeah, and we are also improving the
side.
flying machines.
Yeah. Okay.
So the first time we did this, we used a really slow weld eater. That
Yep.
weld eater took almost, I think, 12 hours or something to finish.
Right.
Because it was really slow, really laggy,
Yep.
and we didn't optimize it at all. But
Okay.
then over time we just built better and better versions, iterative improvement. And at the moment, I think the weld eater takes something like 6 hours, a bit more to finish.
That's amazing.
I think our current record for doing everything, so bombing out the whole area, building the whole stone generation, all the witch farms, doing literally everything you see right now here was 11.5 hours? No, 14.
Да, они об этом и
14
говорили,
hours.
что вот
That
это
is
вот
so
все сделано
bonkers
для
that
того,
you guys
чтобы
can
лаги
manage to do that
убрать.
within 14 hours. I mean, that's crazy. Because, I mean, I hate to keep bringing up because it almost seems sad to bring up my little witch hut that I'm building on the Hermitcraft server when I'm standing here, because it doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as this. But like, me and Brian were totting up the amount of time that I'd spent so far on the witch hut, and it came to like 36 hours or something ridiculous like that. And that's for a single witch hut with a much smaller perimeter of only 1.2 million blocks. So you've done 16 times the amount of space, and also completely flattened it, and also built the entire witch hut.
Стоп,
and
почему
also surrounded
360? 1080. Надеюсь, загрузится.
them in stone and cover the entire area in carpet, and you've managed to do that in 14 hours, and that's so impressive. But as you mentioned while we were over at the train station,
Ну, это не такая ровная уже. Ну, тут, блин, такая жесть. Вы посмотрите на это дерьмо. Да, он комментирует то, что у них примерно одинаковые строения. 16 миллионов блоков. Периметр. Жесть.
Ruined it for me. The thing that I especially like about these things is how much consideration has been taken to make them lag friendly. Obviously, all of the bottom sub chunks have been filled, all of those stone blocks have been filled in around the witch farm as well.
Это все разное, капец.
And every single possible consideration that could possibly be made to reduce lag has been made so that they can run farms like this on the server without causing any issues. I just love seeing Minecraft engineering like this. I mean, it's so cool to witness, and I feel so privileged to have been able to pop on and actually see these contraptions in person. But now that you've seen the farms, I'm sure
Привет всем, друзья, с вами Закири.
Ой, да это рядом не стояло. Сейчас бы Ластаск сравнивать с вот этим.
This is where things get really interesting. And so where are the items? So the items are landing on the soul sand, which is covered in buttons, and then they're all going down, I guess, into these. What are these things?
Yeah, item
Sorters. That is a combined item sorter and shulker box filler.
Right. Okay.
So since we have we do shulker boxes on the server, so we have kind of unlimited amount of them.
Yep.
We store everything in shulker boxes because it makes it easier to transport.
Absolutely.
But as you can see, there's no storage here. So everything's just getting stored in those shulker boxes, which are then broken and fall down into the water stream once.
Я не совсем понял, как они сортируют вещи в шалкеры, а шалкеры потом отправляют.
Yep.
Вот этого я не понял.
Spending quite some time traveling to all of those destinations, it would be way too tedious if you ever need items just to go here.
Yeah.
So that's why we actually have a central witch farm storage. Yeah, maybe if you.
И это только начало, все верно.
See how we transport the shulker box then through the Nether dimension. We should actually mention.
Они отправляют лут через ад, и из ада забирают в метро лута. У них метро лута еще есть.
Once it's completely filled up, then we send a batch
Это
to the
нечто.
portal, so we don't activate the whole transportation system for each shulker box each time.
Right, that makes sense. Oh yeah, because that would be pretty laggy, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yep. So every about 10 hours it takes until the double chests fill up. We send a batch through.
Вот это метро лута.
Okay, let's go to this thing.
This is the room is just for dug out because then we can see the redstone.
Yep.
The redstone is mostly for chunk load. So we chunk load the area. So
Да, redstone здесь для загрузки чанков.
has to have a 5x5 area of chunks around it loaded.
Right.
So in order for the boxes to get picked up, because they obviously arrive as items from the nether portal, we have to load a 5x5 around them, and then they get picked up by this hopper minecart and get transported into this dropper line here.
That makes sense. And this dropper line, is this a super fast dropper line by the looks of things?
10 meters per second dropper line.
100 meters per second.
100 meters.
80.
Oh, 80, sorry.
Basically,
18
we
это
could
чё?
build a instant
12?
dropper line all the way to
12 тысяч блоков.
Yep.
But then we would need to load all the chunks at once, and that would
минуту.
cause lag spikes.
Yeah, of
So
course.
we slowly load the chunks.
А,
along the
18
dropper
тысяч
line
блоков в
and
минуту?
just,
Серьезно?
Get them through in 80
Yeah, and
blocks
since
per
the dropper
second.
lines are thousands of blocks long,
Охренеть.
the end of the start of the dropper line can already start unloading, while it actually still has items in it that are traveling through it. It's much more efficient to not do it instantly.
Maybe don't go too far down the dropper line because it goes all the way up to spawn, and we're like.
We could actually just follow the dropper line in spectator mode to see the scale of it.
Sorry, I started flying down there because
Yeah, it's okay, man. Just continue.
We've almost all made it back. Some people are still struggling. So we're very close here to our nether hub.
Внимательно.
And yeah, well, here's
Просто нет слов.
our central storage. Obviously, it's not here in the nether, but yeah, on nether hub actually you can just slightly see it up there.
Да,
Yeah,
это
that's
хаб
all
из
the
самого
shulker
начала,
boxes that
все
go,
верно.
they come through the nether.
Но с этой
It's
стороны
just a
он
normal
выглядит
line coming in
намного
and,
круче.
well, chunk loading grid around it.
Конечно, хаб у него в аду, потому что
And I
оттуда
suggest
все
we
пути.
head to the other side and take a look at that.
This chunk loading grid not only turns on the storage, we also, because of the way Minecraft works in 1.12, we
Но
also have to
выглядит
make
он
sure
потрясающе.
that the chunk loading grid doesn't unload in order to not break the redstone on top.
Right.
That's why in the northeast corner, you can also see
Копикат Рик,
an
спасибо за
instant
фолл.
line going towards the server spawn, activating a perma-loader. So we actually got another line here just to make sure that the chunk loading line doesn't break over 3,000 blocks, basically saving the system from crashing.
Wow.
And we
Okay.
got rid of mob spawning.
Yeah,
Just
Oh,
one
yeah,
glitch
we
there.
already
don't have a
turned
mob
it off.
switch on.
Yeah, just turn it on again.
For anyone who doesn't know what a mob switch is essentially a bunch of mobs that are in the lazy chunks of the spawn chunks, and when you load them up, it stops all mobs spawning in the world. So they're used to
Да, если ты загружаешь ленивые чанки, то все мобы начинают спавниться рядом.
Yeah, that looks
That's kind of
dangerous.
really weird. Not having a mob switch. Just
Yeah,
not
it's
used
really
to it.
weird. You get used to mob switches so quickly. It's really good to not have mob
108 дней
Okay, so we got
на сервере.
shulker boxes, in this case incoming.
Вот
through
это
the
тоже,
drop
блин,
elevator.
вообще...
And then
Смотрите,
first we,
они
check
сделали
if we-
текстуры досок, чтобы сделать видимость досок, огромнейших досок, на то, чтобы в них уместить вот это все.
We actually got a shulker box, so we try to fill the item into another shulker box. A normal item goes in there.
Это всё
obviously another shulker box
сортировка
goes in another shulker box.
по
All the
шалкерам.
items that are not a shulker box get sorted
Он
out.
тут объясняет,
This
как
here.
это все
Then we also have
работает,
further
но я так и не
control
понял,
if the
как это
shulker box
работает.
is completely filled up, because sometimes when you build a new storage, a hopper lands in the system.
Типа он
or whatnot.
погружает в
So then
шалкеры,
we also
потом
check if the
шалкеры
shulker box is
как-то
completely filled up. Obviously, it's
выгружает
15. If not, also gets
загруженными.
box in there.
Это
And
я не
finally,
понимаю,
if
как.
everything is alright, it's put into the storage here.
Yeah.
And we basically got the 7 different item types you get from the witches. But we still need to sort it in. In order to do that, we take one item out of the shulker
Вы думали,
box.
у нас на складе,
Run it over
на
the
сервере
filter
большой
system
склад?
here.
Вы смотрите, у них
If the items get picked up
огромный
by the hopper,
чанк
then the
на
shulker
то,
box,
чтобы
which,
просто
parallelly
загружать
also gets put
лут
through the dropper
туда.
system, also gets put into that slot, and the items is put back into the shulker box, and that's how we kind of sort filled shulker boxes. in
Шалкер
this
можно
case.
ставить
Right.
диспенсером и шалкера воронкой.
I mean,
Но как шалкер это
That's done in the
загружать?
storage on the opposite side, yeah.
okay, so I can
So-
see that as
so-
as you
Да,
mentioned
у нас
earlier
там
on,
мини
redstone is
склад.
currently empty.
Вон он, видите?
Glowstone is
Загруженные
I don't have
шалкер
these
боксы.
glowstone.
Понимаете?
That goes without saying.
Огромное их количество.
I mean, when you say
So,
you're out
yeah.
of redstone, apparently there's a few shulkers there. So if there are,
Yeah,
И
okay,
красной
I mean,
пыли у
yesterday a
них
little bit.
нет. У них нет красной пыли.
so I mean, I
Она
like the
вся
fact that-
потрачена.
Because for me, I mean, having a few shulker boxes filled with redstone, I'd kind of be alright
Понимаете?
with that. I'd feel pretty confident. Whereas you guys forget that you have a few shulker boxes of redstone lying around.
Шалкеры поршнями забираются? Серьезно?
System to be happy. And how many
Once when I
items is
cleared
this
up the
stone
server, I picked up like 10 shulker boxes full of redstone blocks that were just left over the server because no one cared about them.
I mean, that's got to be crazy. So with this storage, I mean, it's around about nearly 100,000 items per double chest, isn't it? When they're filled with shulker
Yes.
boxes.
103,000.
So each item type you can store 5 million here.
Yep, you heard that correct. 5 million redstone dust can be stored in their system. Impressive. Now, where is this storage system? Well, this, I gotta say, made me laugh.
5
Where
миллионов
the distance isn't
пыли
far enough to
могло
actually,
быть
like,
потрачено
get the full impression of this thing. This is
на эту
totally ridiculous.
систему.
So is the storage? So the storage system is actually
Жесть.
in the base of the witch hut, is it?
Yes.
Yep.
That's
Wait,
brilliant.
we wasted one witch hut. What is this?
But wait, there's more. The SciCraft guys then found an exploit so powerful and so efficient that even they considered it to be cheating. This is something that I've got to see. There we go.
Ah,
There we go.
There we go. Got it.
Wait. What? No. This shouldn't exist in Minecraft. This doesn't make any sense.
I mean, technically mobs spawn every tick, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the witches can spawn in the overworld anywhere, where it's dark.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is completely normal.
Yeah, exactly. I've been saying it all the time. No one is listening.
This is
What is
not
this?
completely normal. Can someone
Это не
explain
должно
what exactly
существовать в
is happening
Майнкрафте.
Here, because
Someone-
That's your point. Come on, explain.
XCOM.
Okay, I'll explain it very concisely.
Okay.
Notch intended it this way.
Come on.
This is how the game was supposed
Yeah,
to
try
play.
to
Come on,
explain it.
It took 10 years for people to figure it out. I mean, this is what he
Seriously.
intended.
Basically, the mob spawning
Okay,
is
I'll simplify it.
dependent on random calls. So
Okay,
Okay.
I'll simplify. The gist is that the game needs to figure out where to spawn mobs, but obviously computers aren't fully random. There's a structure to computers, and making a completely random system is impossible. So the thing is, when you use a randomizer in a game, you should keep in mind when you're programming that you shouldn't make it exploitable. And they forgot a line or so and left an exploit in the game.
Они при программировании забыли какую-то линию кода,
Randomizer can be reset.
и рандомайзер может быть сброшен. И они создают дома. Каждый раз, когда ты загружаешь чанк,
if you know that if, for example, a specific chunk loads and you get a witch hut spawn in a specific location, you can just reset that event every single game tick, just like a command block.
And I believe the way that they do
каждый тик они сбрасывают спам ведьмы, точнее, дома ведьмы, и создают его заново, чтобы сбросить рандомайзер. 80,000, это что получается? 18 тысяч чанков за раз. Загрузить. И сбрасывают рандомайзер. 80 чанков. Эти. 80 тысяч чанков? Серьезно? Давайте еще раз.
To kind of overload the server and then reset the RNG.
Location, you can just that event every single game tick, just like a command block.
And I believe the way that they do this is by loading 18,000 chunks.
18, он сказал 18.
All at once.
18.
To kind of overload the server and then
18 тысяч чанков.
I could be totally wrong there. So
просто жесть.
So I think it's safe to say that that was ridiculously impressive. I mean, I loved seeing all of the witch huts. I loved seeing the RNG witch hut as well. I mean, Last week, I released a video of the witch farms on the SciCraft server, and you guys seemed to really enjoy it. You loved hearing all of the technical information and just seeing the ridiculous spec, but I mean, and apparently I'd only seen about 25% of it. So I'm barely scratching the surface at this point in time, but I thought it would be a good idea to release some of the other things that I'd seen. And just so you know, in this first clip, I don't really talk that much because I wanted to let Nembom explain everything in full.
Okay guys, so we are at the location of the passive mob farm here on the SciCraft server, and this is one of the first projects I think I made here, and this was done back in 1.8. This whole this entire hole was dug with TNT from dispensers before the duping was possible, I think, or
это все сделано до того, как можно было дюпать
because the thing is,
динамитом.
if you lower the spawn chunks, sorry, if you lower the sub chunks, we all know about it, then we can get much denser spawning. So this is a passive mob farm, and if you guys know, passive mob farms tend to be really slow. So you have to maximize the number of spawning platforms and the area. So we have here 4 spawning platforms within the first sub chunk, and then we'll, when I turn on the clock, we'll be able to periodically flash the mobs into the nether. So every 20 seconds, we should be able to see a bunch of mobs spawning in and either falling on this side or
это все
on the other
для
side
спавна дружественных мобов.
So one side is covered with fire.
Как они спавнятся с такой скоростью вообще?
The mobs, and on the other side we have
И сразу же джайрятся, приготавливаются, жесть.
Kill them, but don't burn the drops. So we have cooked and uncooked stuff as well. Pink sheep are very rare. I think like 1 out of a million. It's something really rare. So this is all the pink wool we got from running of this farm. So
одна из миллиона, серьезно?
Quite a bit.
And actually, while we were recording, a pink sheep actually came
Вон она,
from
розовая
which is
овца.
not something I was expecting. I don't know if I've ever seen a naturally generated pink sheep before, so this might have been a first for me. Anyway, one of the mobs that comes out of these passive mob farms is of course horses. So they built a system so that they can sort their horses.
Unfortunately, this place also doesn't work anymore, but I'm just gonna explain what we did here. So the horses got sorted via translocation. So remember the behavior piston were able to pull entities through themselves, and we sorted out the horses from the other animals first, also sorted out the baby horses from the horses, and then checked those horses for their attributes, so their speed, their jumping height, health is clear via a translocation system here. So basically, this.
Зачем им столько мяса? По-моему, очевидно.
Already
Питаться.
got one horse exactly delivered to us. Then if you had a storage in the side,
У них там еще статы у каждой лошади высчитаны.
Once the horse was mounted, we checked first the speed. So here in the back, 100 meters away, you can see a 7-segment stopwatch. That's as accurate as a 20th
скорости,
of a second.
блин.
So I'm just gonna get a horse. Then you just need to ride in a straight line for 100 meters, and then it will display the time it took to ride exactly those 100 meters.
Okay, I'm gonna get 180 exactly. I can feel the pressure's on.
So when you arrive, it takes about 3 seconds, and then you got the final result. So this horse has a speed of 7.25 per 100 meters.
Is that fast? Is this a fast
That's
horse?
actually really fast horse.
These are all the jump tests as well?
Yeah. So for different heights, check how high the horse can jump.
Высоту типа высчитывают.
Anyway, that's enough horsing around. Let's move on to the next farm, which is Nembom's Guardian Farm.
So this is first Guardian farm I built here on the server.
Это ферма стражей.
And it was essentially the design where I optimized the essentially spawning conditions, trying to get the most out of the single Guardian, single player mob farm essentially. So essentially what I did here is I just basically clear out the monument. I left the monument. I just replaced all the blocks from one pallet to another pallet. I think it looks pretty sweet. So this is kind of a small Guardian farm really.
Yep.
But then we realized we need a little bit more sea lanterns, because we sometimes need a lot of them for basically to cover a perimeter or something.
Yep.
So we have a bigger Guardian farm, I guess, that can deliver a little bit more. So this is an actual map of the actual Minecraft
Это
terrain.
самая настоящая карта.
What happened to it?
You'll see in a moment. Just don't worry about it. Okay.
Я не до конца понял, как это они сделали. Они что-то там про рандомайзер говорили. Типа как будто он сам выкладывает эти блоки.
Right.
And by essentially throwing a challenge to get a double chest of each item, but not double chest, but double chest of shulker boxes of each item, then I needed 100,000 clownfish. So
that's a lot of clownfish.
That's a lot of clownfish. So the thing is, if this farm is running at 2 or 3 mob caps, you can keep killing up to 100 guardians per second.
Right. Which is bonkers.
Сотня гвардианов каждую секунду.
And this way you can get about 250 clownfish per hour, which means that the whole project, although mental, turned out to be feasible. So I AFK'd here for 2 weeks.
Кто победил, я уже забыл.
I guess we'll be able to see in the basically on the overall part how it panned out.
What on earth did you do here?
Вот она ферма, капец.
What is this?
I covered it up with blocks, okay?
This is the most ridiculous thing.
So you can Mango explain maybe the perimeter part, yeah?
Okay, so yeah, in this perimeter we didn't want to just flood it again to make it spawn proof. We thought about placing blocks there. And in total, in order just to do the floor, we would need to place 800,000 blocks.
Он еще и в стекле весь.
It's doable by hand, but we thought maybe we could actually automate that process. In the end, we got a machine that was able to do that, but unfortunately the effort to build the machine and run it was kind of higher than doing everything by hand. And that's why we decided maybe we can actually add a system or component to the machine that makes it worth it. And yeah, randomizing the blocks is kind of worth it to do it with a machine because it's quite simple, but it would be super tedious to do this by hand.
Yeah.
So in the end, yeah, we made a machine that made a randomized floor pattern and also for the walls in order to place the blocks. So yeah, it's completely random when it comes to the blocks, but also the gradient changes. So we had 2 color palettes.
Да, вот здесь вот темный, а там посветлее становится. Я так и не понял, как они это делают. Я не до конца понимаю, что они говорят. Но у них какой-то там рандомайзер блоков есть.
in order, yeah.
Из-за этого они как раз
It's
сделали
complicated
такой
pretty much,
пол.
Just because.
Yeah.
Там он
Yeah.
весь светлый, а там весь
Yeah,
темный.
'cause I had noticed that it had gone to like a slightly more browny color towards the edge, whereas this side is like a whiter edge. And then
Not 100% satisfied with the result, but it definitely looks interesting. It's
We
something
just
else.
used too many colors, so I think
Yeah.
this was a palette of 16 colors in
16.
total. If you had done it with 8, it would have looked so much better.
do you reckon?
Just going from black to white was just too harsh of a step.
Well, I mean, I have to say, I mean, I think this looks so cool, and it's so cool to see. Like, once again, this sort of thing just built in survival mode is totally nuts.
So yeah, so basically we had an AFK player
Они автоматические, так что
standing in a box.
не очень.
He got blocks dispensed to him, and you would just place the blocks one after the other, fill up one complete line, which then got pushed over.
А, вот она, эта штука,
And then flying machines
создающая
got
пол.
launched that flew over the blocks and deposited them.
Оно все автоматически
rows at a
ставится.
And we just need to AFK here in the end.
I mean, I know.
Они просто поставили ее, и она сама все
How
сделала.
long did someone have to AFK here to fill in
I think it
all?
was around 40 hours per layer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean.
Да, оно не
Additionally, it was
нужно.
also quite a lot of effort to build this up.
Yes.
In the end, I mean, as I already said, it's not really worth it if you just need a plain floor to cover it with blocks, but the randomizers kind of made it worth it.
Они построили эти машины, чтобы просто заполнить эти полы.
Just utterly ridiculous, and we haven't even looked at the farm yet.
So to get 1 million, to essentially to basically process 1
40
million
часов
items per
авка.
hour, you need quite a bit of sorters.
Yeah.
So
Блоки они сами ставили?
so the good thing about them is they're all
Стоп,
open,
что?
so you can access every single hopper, and you can basically reconfigure them. And if you want, for example, more shards, you can collect more shards. If you want more prism crystals or other drops, you can collect them as well.
Yep.
And the entire system is closed. So we have a storage for shulker boxes.
А, Авкигор, который
and
ставит
then,
блоки,
those
я
shulker
понял.
boxes, basically, those items are being packed to the shulker boxes. Those shulker boxes go
Типа
to
они
the,
тебе
go to the
выдавались.
storage. There is a crafting
Ты их ставил
station where
в
you can
Авке.
craft the items into the blocks, and then the empty shulker boxes go back to the shulker boxes storage.
Это все сортировочная
This is the
система.
most ridiculous thing I think I've ever
Ooh.
seen.
So and this is not RNG manipulation. This farm actually produces more than
Это не
more than
манипуляции
RNG
рандома.
mobs, like with one. Okay, you can RNG as many spawns as you want, but for one pack, it's actually faster.
This is crazy. I mean, yeah,
And,
this is just a constant flow of guardians. I can't believe that this actually exists.
So this is and this is like totally legit. There is nothing that's against any Minecraft rules with regards to this farm.
So that's just brilliant. SciCraft made my witch farm in Hermitcraft Season 6 look pathetic, and now they've made my guardian farm in Hermitcraft Season 5 look pathetic. Right, let's pop through to spawn.
Okay, then maybe we should actually start off one of the first huge projects. Doesn't look like much, but a lot of hours of effort went into it. It's the mob switch we have at spawn. So this is the huge purple-green tower.
Yep.
And yeah, you can go really close and maybe you can take a look inside.
Это все шалкеры. Это все живые шалкеры.
Exactly.
How did you? I mean.
Это все живые шалкеры. Сколько их там?
How long did it take for you to get all of these guys in minecarts? Like.
It was actually quite a process.
Yeah.
So we went to the
Yeah,
ends, to numerous entities, collected those shulkers, brought them over to the overworld, and put them in here. And in total, probably 50-60 hours went into this project. So yeah, this is not just decoration. This has a very useful purpose. The shulker
Заметили, у
is a
нас
special
у них очень много из блоков.
Right. It has this trait together with a couple other mobs.
Из блоков слизи состоит.
Or the Elder Guardian. And we use this basically to make.
Да, их всех транспортировали отсюда.
Between mob spawning and a pseudo peaceful mode.
Right.
So as you can see here.
Они провоцируют peaceful, потому что они все находятся в одном месте, чтобы никто ни другой не спавнился. Они нажимают ее, они все сдвигаются туда.
Spawn chunks are always loaded. That means we have 600 mobs counting towards the mob cap. So if we go to another area,
Они все перешли в другую часть мира, чтобы там никто не
because the
спавнился.
mob cap is full with those strikers.
We could definitely do one of those on the Hermitcraft server. Anyway, they then took me down into the control room and explained something that doesn't seem like it should be possible, but clearly it is because they've done it.
So here we have a lever that loads instant line, and at the end of the instant line, there's basically just 2,000 chests on chunk borders. It might sound a lot, but it's actually quick to set up.
Yep.
And
Or
those,
NG
chests
манипулятор.
load these chunks because they check if they can be a double chest. So once you start loading
Что-то
them,
там
they
с
check,
двойными
can I be a
сундуками
double chest?
непонятные.
And load the next chunk.
Right.
And that location is specifically chosen because we can basically
Это вообще, блин, взрыв
reset
мозга.
parts of the code of Minecraft. So you get
Она сбрасывает
defined
части
outcome
кода
if you use a
Майнкрафта,
fortune pick on ores. Let's activate it. We
и
set
с
up
этим
something
ты
at the
можешь
top again,
вытаскивать
then,
максимум
click the lever, go over the
ресурсов
switches
с
here and then
руды.
go up, I guess.
Ready?
Yes, yes. Doesn't that look insane now?
That does look ridiculous. And yeah, I've got 4 stacks exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
8 times 23. 32, I mean.
That's really
Yes.
weird. That's so strange. So
Yeah.
so with this setup, you can guarantee a certain
You get
number
4
of items.
diamonds out of each diamond ore,
Yeah.
for example. So if you want to mine the diamonds as well, you
No,
can get your
this is-
diamond achievement.
Oh, this isn't.
Они
fair.
манипулируют
This is
удачей,
ridiculous.
чтобы выбить
They're
максимальное
going 32
количество
diamonds from-
ресурсов с
from
каждой руды.
Isn't that insane? And
Как
for
это
redstone, for example,
возможно?
you get 8, and for nether quartz also 4, I think. So we got the maximum for all of them.
This is the coolest thing ever. So and is that only these items, or is that? I mean,
It's for the ores.
All the ores.
okay. So if you were to fill, I mean, this is just me being silly. If you were to fill this chunk with those ores, would all of them drop the maximum amount, or is it only in these
Yes.
locations?
No,
It
all of
works
them.
We did
everywhere
it.
on
We
the
actually
server.
did it.
Это работает везде на сервере.
Slight problems if you move across chunk borders, then sometimes it doesn't work, but everywhere.
Oh, like Spice can also make it sometimes not work.
Как они это
So
сделали?
bizarre. I mean, it's amazing, and it's the coolest thing ever, and it's totally above my head to a certain extent. But
Yeah,
That's, for
there's
example, how we got over 100,000 diamonds here on the server.
yeah,
Also because we did some other projects and, of course, mined a lot of ore, but then we also converted it.
И они
with the
добыли
ore
это
RNG
с помощью
here.
другого
And,
какого-то.
yeah, we are probably the Minecraft server, the survival server with the most legit diamonds,
Yeah.
I would say.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that 100,000 diamonds is lots.
So,
Настакали
basically,
удачи.
as you can
Они с
see
помощью
here,
какой-то системы
we are
редстоуна,
now
с
in the
помощью
nether
двойных
side of the
сундуков,
server, and this is our main station.
какую-то
So,
часть
from here
кода
we have,
Майнкрафта просто
so-called
изменили
piston bolts
внутри
going
игры.
to all directions and to all the farms and places we have on the server.
This is probably the bolt that gets used by far the most on the server. I
Oh,
think this
really?
bolt has, yeah. I mean, I think this bolt has probably like 5 times more uses than all the other bolts
Oh, really?
combined. So this is our main storage room,
Yep.
and
Это
as you can
их
see here,
склад.
we have all,
Столько
I think,
драконьих
all
бошек.
stackable items, or at least like most of them,
Yeah.
sorted automatically.
Все предметы,
So you can
которые
just
можно
put
стакать.
items to the shulker box or the chest at the start of the hall, and they all get automatically sorted into the correct chest.
Вот он склад,
Including
вот он
shulker
склад.
boxes, or is that done?
No, shulker boxes aren't stackable,
Right.
so we don't sort them.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
but we put some in by hand because, yeah, we don't have too many of those items, and then we just put them in. Here we have server maps from the main area.
Вот
For
эта
example,
карта,
you
блин.
might remember spawn there in the middle, that icy thingy. But that map
Это у
was
них
too
такой
small,
спаун
so if you
чёрный.
go right through the map. Behind here,
Oh my god.
we have
И это у них
a big
комната карты, боже мой.
This is already really cool. I've got to make sure that I don't fall off this. This is a beautiful room. I love the floor. The floor's amazing. Oh, this looks so cool. And that is one heck of a map.
It's actually zoomed out by
Это
factor
просто
2,
нечто.
so if you wouldn't use normal maps, then it would be 4 times as large.
Right, yeah.
And it's also only the main area, but you see a lot of rectangles on there. And those are a few perimeters we have on the server, but yeah, I think you only see 3 or 4 here. But we
Это
have,
угольные блоки,
30
скорее
perimeters
всего.
by now on the server.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. I mean, how many perimeters do you have? So 30, that's a lot. I mean,
И стекло.
what do you reckon the combined blocks mined is throughout all the players? It's got to be reaching.
Pickaxe uses probably around 80 million, but with TNT
Total
Да, это скорее всего стекло.
Yeah.
Half a billion.
At least half a billion, probably.
At least, yeah.
Alright, so yeah, if you need to craft a bunch of pistons, because recently, for example, we crafted 1 million pistons, we use this crafting system here. You can maybe go up the stairs
Crafting
and
system.
show how to fill it up. We prepared something. So we prepared 5 shulker boxes, maybe people can already fill it in, 5 boxes of each, basically for each crafting slot. The shulker boxes are then distributed via hoppers, hopper minecarts into droppers, and by a press of a button or lever, all the items get dispensed with 45 droppers and flushed towards the player. Then we can just pick them up and craft it into pistons.
Right, and
This case.
is that this area out the front here? Is this where you do it?
Yeah.
I see.
Here.
So now I need. Is everything filled up?
It should be.
Okay, so
Okay, then
now
we can press the button here.
I can
Это система крафта, вы понимаете?
Flick the lever
Она
here,
выдает,
and now you get the items.
выдает тебе предметы,
Takes a few seconds, and then
чтобы крафтить
I can just
предметы по
start
КД.
crafting.
Yep. And I mean, how I keep asking for like lengths of
Нельзя
time.
крафтить автоматом. Смотри, что он делает.
I mean, it's crazy how long you guys spend on certain things. How long does it take to make 1 million pistons?
Он выдает тебе.
A lot of time, actually.
This is here is 90,000 item per hour output for blocks. So yeah, around 10 hours.
And you can't. I'm assuming you can't really AFK at that either. You kind of have to actively do it.
Yep.
The next thing that they showed me is a really cool potion brewing station that they have sat in their storage room that allows them to brew up a full shulker box of any potion that they want within
эти, блин,
45
еще,
seconds.
как
I mean,
они?
you could do a really complicated recipe and it will do it within
Зельеварка.
45 seconds and deliver the shulker box to you. And it uses a special trick to do it that, I'll be honest, I didn't totally understand. So I'd suggest checking out Ilmango's YouTube channel for that one.
Okay, there's one another cool thing here in the storage, and that's actually that room, and it's the most underwhelming thing ever if you look at it. It's that blue bed in the corner room.
Синяя кровать.
That is quite special.
Yeah, that bed can do insane stuff, because if no one's on the server, just one player, and he sleeps in that bed, right in the moment he comes out of the bed, a chunk gets loaded a bit out here from storage, and we talked about the RNG stuff earlier.
Yep.
Эта кровать манипулирует RNG.
Changes the RNG of weather, so we don't have rain or thunderstorm for 142 minutes. So we can have 2 hours of peacefulness.
So
Она
just
меняет
by
погоду,
sleeping in this
короче.
bed right here,
Кровать меняет погоду.
resets the weather and stops rain or I mean that's really
142 часа без
bizarre.
дождя,
And as far
если
as I can
pоспать
tell,
на
it
этой
uses
кровати.
the same sort of mechanics as the RNG system they've got, resetting Minecraft's randomizer using redstone.
we have 103,000. We have the RNG,
Менять
but still
цвет кровати
it
можно
needs
просто.
to come from somewhere. Here's actually one of the areas
Лем
where we got a lot of
4
diamonds from.
РЖЖ, спасибо за фон.
If you fly towards the south, about after 500, 600 blocks to the left, we can see a tunnel bore.
Everyone be careful at the front.
Yeah,
О, вот эта
don't
штука,
get blown
блин,
up, watch
она
out in the
офигенная.
front, stay back. That triggers everything. TNT gets duped, sitting here, and then the last one, before it explodes, we shoot it
Они дюпают TNT, который забрасывается в стену, двигают это с машины. Это просто
search for
нечто.
diamond ore on the right, and pick it out.
Минута,
So we
окей.
can actually maybe fly the whole distance just to show how massive this thing is.
Like this thing is so long. We made a tunnel board to make the tunnel to fit this tunnel board.
I like that. That's the way to do it. I mean, this is so you're just going gradually creeping along, exploding out TNT.
Привет, растение.
We always thought strip
Fly
mining
across.
is a bit cheaty, you know, and then we thought let's do caving but make our own cave.
Это не те, которые собирают.
I like that mentality. Yeah, that's very good.
So
Привет, Лим.
there was a question earlier, where do we get our concrete powder, sand and gravel from? Use
О, это
gravity
машина
block
Дюпа
tubes for that.
через портал.
That's using the end portal technique. So this is basically you send sand entities through the end portal at the same time it converts into a block again. So we always have gravity blocks staying here in the overworld dimension, and in the end dimension you get some additional sand or concrete powder entities. You
Yep.
dupe it.
The farm running already? No, it started.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
maybe not my best choice of stand-in locations. Okay, and that is.
Ну, это просто дюб через рамку
That is the
портала,
sand
да.
duping or gravity block duping. Now we don't only want the concrete.
Блин,
power,
вот эта
we
система
actually want
просто
the concrete as
офигенная.
well, right? I mean, you can make a manual machine to mine it, but why not make it automatic? So here we have a concrete factory. It automatically actually makes concrete.
So silly. Alright, I gotta get a screenshot of this.
Это выглядит
This is the, I mean, it doesn't even.
просто
it doesn't
нечто.
even- It's not going to be able to get across how cool this is. Obviously, they'll be able to see it in the video. This is the coolest thing I think I've seen. This is. This beats the tunnel ball machine.
Какой, блин, Industrial Craft, вы посмотрите на это дерьмо.
This is so
that was a
crazy to
quick-
watch. I want
Конвейер,
this
да.
screensaver. I really do.
Yeah, unfortunately they just removed that in 114 as well with the sand on the fences.
Oh yeah.
So it just kind of scoots along. And then, so it's all being pushed in. And then. Oh.
Они дёпают где-то динамит еще, чтобы взрывать это все, чтобы получать все эти блоки.
Stacks up into concrete blocks, and then we just push that out and push that into a TNT blast chamber where we blow it up.
Да,
and blast it
он как
off
будто
into
скользит
100%
по забору.
If you look closer, you can see the concrete popping up one after the other, and then
Left
first
and
gets
right.
pushed over.
Yep.
Yep. Where I'm
It's,
jumping
Такая
between-
транспортировка, блин. Один вниз, другой вверх, один вниз, другой вверх.
There's also 108,000
С двух
power.
сторон.
so
Там
it
такое количество
matches-
поршней, вы
it
посмотрите.
matches what
One
comes in.
duper.
One duper.
Now, one interesting thing about the SciCraft server is everything seems to be controlled from the center of the server, and then they have instant redstone lines running out to all the redstone contraptions throughout the server, spanning thousands of blocks. So I asked them how they worked, and they showed me something that actually totally blew my mind. I mean, I think this is the coolest thing I've seen in Minecraft in a long time. And so these little things here, these are the instant these are the instant redstone lines.
Yep.
I'm guessing.
We can also go down there. There's another cool project we built up quite a while. So we actually have an ice tunnel going there. So if something happens with those instant wires, since they're not 100% reliable,
Yep.
we added an ice boat way in order to fix them, so we can just travel there. And we
Nice.
actually managed to automate that. So we automatically make an ice boat with that machine on the right here.
So if you now go to spectator
Машина,
maybe and
которая
fly
делает
through the
туннели
machine,
с
it's actually
дорогой
super
льда.
long and does a lot of things and the
Посмотрите, какая-то большая
Can somebody ride the
жесть.
machine? Can somebody
I can-
maybe
I
try
can-
the
I can
machine?
do- yeah.
This looks. So this is huge. Yeah,
Yep.
this is enormous.
Okay, starting and up now at the front. TNT tube making a tunnel.
And these armor
about-
stands have the Frostwalker on, and that's. Oh, this is so genius. This is so cool.
It's about 200 blocks long, I think, this tunnel block.
It's a nightmare to build.
Она копает, уничтожает лаву, создает после этого мост из льда, и все это автоматически.
This is a double speed one, so it always has 2 TNT in the basket in the front.
И там еще есть место для оператора.
Oh, rip emerald ore.
Wow. This is so
This
interesting.
machine
to watch.
consists out of, I think, 6 different parts. So the tunnel bore in the front. Then we spill water to convert lava into obsidian. After that we remove the water again.
Yeah.
Then we create the ice tunnel. Or the ice part.
Then we actually, Panic, we
Then-
actually
Мне определенно нравится вот то, что там Человек-оператор такой сидит в вагонетке.
Yeah. Then we create the ice tunnel, then we slice the ice tunnel, and right in the back, then we also flatten the tunnel. And if you look at the front, how the tunnel looks, and how in the back the
Mix
tunnel
25,
looks,
спасибо за follow.
So it's completely made automatic. The whole rectangular tunnel with ice pass in the middle and everything.
This is so cool.
Yeah, we actually pull the floor up, like right below, like right behind.
Она еще через каждое, блин, через каждое количество блоков паузу делает.
Like at least semi-level.
I'm gonna hop out again.
And I mean, so stupid question time. How are you getting the water? Is the water being generated because the frost? How's that happening there?
So basically, if you pull a frosted ice block,
yep,
and it does not have, I think, 8 adjacent frosted ice, it will instantly convert into water.
It only needs 1 adjacent ice blocks.
So we can basically turn 2 water sources into frosted ice, move them a block forward.
Каким-то образом они конвертируют воду в лед и лед в воду.
Cool, and it's actually something that I want to use soon because I've had some interesting ideas with it. Anyway, moving on to another farm.
Yep.
What on earth is this, guys? What on earth?
Ферма пшеницы.
What are you guys doing? No one needs this much wheat.
Well, we thought wheat needed.
Make blocks out of it.
Yeah, but this is so ridiculous.
Hay bales have the nice property that
Он еще так сказал,
all damage.
мы можем делать блоки из нее, из пшеницы.
Yeah, and when you put a campfire above it, the smoke goes higher. That's a
and
nice
also
feature.
this is from Y0 to build limit basically.
This is nuts.
А, стенды, на которых ботинки с водой. А, вот оно что.
I think are better than the previous one. Like, I was.
А я думаю, зачем они там стоят?
Now, this is even more bonkers. Right, well, I'm gonna have to get a screenshot of this too.
You should fly up and then around the pillars downwards. It's so cool.
Man, I don't even know what to say about this.
I turn it on.
Okay.
And I mean, what sort of rates are we talking
Все
about
руинится.
in terms of?
Видели, сколько там было этих самых?
140,000 wheat power.
It's actually like quite slow in terms
Сколько
of
ферм
farms, but it's
этих?
really fast for a wheat farm.
Yeah, I mean, you slow 140,000
Я забыл это
per hour.
слово.
Those two words don't normally go next to one another, but I'll accept it as we are on the
Ведьм.
SciCraft server. So that's nuts.
Then onto the pumpkin, potato, and carrot farm.
This is enormous.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm guessing this is all for villager trading, I assume? I suppose the wheat could also be used
That's
for villager
correct.
trading.
Yep.
So the pumpkin farm is broken now. It's just also one of those many changes. Every version is broken now. Actually, the potato and carrot farm is also broken now. But I just wanted to show you. Put a lot of effort into a trading hall. The reason was actually we traded for redstone in 1.8.
Right.
So we always had the issue not enough redstone.
Yeah.
And then I came up, hey, why don't we
Они
trade
торгуют
for
ради
that?
редстоуна.
And using a script, I was actually able to trade like 7 times faster than the quad widget farm was. And that's why we made this area
Скрипт,
here.
чтобы торговать в 7 раз
The
быстрее.
coolest things that I've seen on the server so far. I know I've said that a number of times, but I can promise you, this is just craziness.
All right, do you reckon I should go into spectator mode?
Yep,
What?
spectator mode. It's probably best.
This is a really pretty rim.
О, боже мой.
This is beautiful.
Угадайте, что это?
That's actually where we did our first automatically random floor.
Yep.
This was also done by a machine, the floor.
So,
This doesn't have the
pattern, I
gradient.
like it.
It's just same color scheme all over, but it also looks really.
Yeah,
Тупо огромная ферма слаймов.
Okay, mob switch should be off.
Hey, is somebody in the nether?
Actually not.
Somebody should go there because I'm gonna turn the farm on.
I'm in the nether.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you turn
awesome.
on the collection?
I'm gonna turn the farm on then.
Ферма ведьм. Ну так прошлое видео было про это. Они потратили несколько миллионов
At the bottom, yeah.
редстоуна.
and so how many
И у них там все пусто.
modules, how many farms
У них
is
там все
this?
пусто.
24 slime farms, I think.
This is
24 chunks.
location is specifically chosen For the amount of slime chunks it has. It
Yeah.
has, I think, 33 slime chunks in here.
Они
Those
все
farms are
заполнены
not quite
водой,
like the
и в момент, когда
standard
вода
design of
исчезает,
slime farm
спавнятся
normally
слаймы,
built.
и слаймы почему-то выпрыгивают.
There's some bedrock broken to
Они
make
стараются
floors. You can fit in,
спрыгнуть
4
с
layers within the first
цикл,
subchunk.
что ли?
Yeah.
Because in the first subchunk the spawning is condensed and so on. Then we lure the slimes with iron golems. By now this is quite standard thing, but
На
in
големов?
times was
Вот этого я не знал.
not revolutionary but new, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Да, вон големы стоят.
Kind of new groundbreaking thing.
Then instead of like lava blades or
А
cactus,
с чего они
just
агрятся
a
на
portal.
големов?
The portal itself is also a little bit special, because if you look at the portal, there's a dragon egg in one of
Странно.
the corners of the portal always.
Oh, yeah. How?
Яйца
Why,
дракона
so,
всегда
okay, so
стоят
why
там.
the dragon egg? I've got to ask. How come?
The dragon egg basically means that if you break one of the obsidian blocks, it means that the slimes on the other side, when they go through the portal, they actually spawn below the portal, not inside the portal, which is really
Они
useful.
спавнятся не в портале, а снизу портала.
It makes sense.
Если разрушить рамку.
Once you see them all in one place, that's when you really get an impression as to how many slimes are being
Капец.
generated by this thing.
Just jump down.
I mean, that is
Just
so.
jump down.
Is it at half speed at the moment?
Yes.
That's at
Why is
half
it at-
speed.
Это половина скорости этой фермы.
It's 140
Видимо, потому что лагает, да?
Okay, good.
Как они сделали, как они сломали у этого
This is-
портала
this-
нижнюю
once
часть?
again, this could be my screensaver. I definitely want this as my screensaver. This is a
Просто нечто.
Falling out of, by the way.
Yeah, so
Yeah, just
with the nether portal, I can't help but notice that there's no blocks on the bottom. So is that the same situation?
this is actually a little bit different than dragon egg, because the dragon egg has to fall down, right? So
Right.
here you cannot just like let a dragon egg fall on.
Right.
But these two obsidian were broken.
Просто
with update
нечто,
suppression,
бесконечный поток
which is
такой.
basically you cause so many block updates that the one for breaking the block kinda get lost.
Огромная машина для поломки рамки.
Yeah.
Slips through. And it actually took around 5 hours just to take those 2 blocks to break those.
Wow. So you kind of had to just constantly cause just huge amounts of block updates or updates in the world, and
Basically,
We placed 2,500 banners in a row attached to that obsidian block. Then we broke the obsidian block. Because of the update order, first all of those banners broke in a row until we hit about 2,500 or a bit less. And then it just stopped. It couldn't process anymore.
Right.
Then it didn't update the portal block. That's the trick.
That's really cool.
Нет, это выживание.
just a 2,500 block long banner line towards the negative X direction. Still works too. One thing I can recommend is going in spectator and just standing in the middle of the magma pit and listening to the sound. The sound of death
That's
is
a good sound. This is a good sound. Man, looking
Такое
straight
количество
up as well
слизи
and just
просто.
seeing all of these just shooting out all over the place is also quite cool. There's
Yeah,
so many of them.
screensaver.
So,
Как у
I
них
don't
не
know
лагает
about
сервер
the
при
rates
этом?
of
Вот,
this
вот
thing,
это
I have
меня
to ask.
удивляет. Насколько мощный у них.
And where do all those items go? Do they all go in through
That's
the
actually
nether?
an interesting
Below,
point.
below. Can...
Basically, we have an item collection system here that packs.
Слизь. Ну, из нее можно сделать слизные блоки.
In minecart and then unloads them into shulker box loaders.
Yep.
Those shulker box loaders.
Shulker box
pack them into
loaders.
shulker boxes.
Мне
And
очень
then they
интересно,
go
как они
through
это
another
делают.
quality control system like the one we saw on the witch huts. So basically,
Как не
we just
загружать?
detect
Я
if the
все
signal
еще не
strength
понимаю,
is 50,
как
and then if
загружать
it's not 50,
автоматически
then
в
it's
шалкеры.
broken, because sometimes we get feathers or
Вон они
chicken,
там стоят,
or
автоматически,
gold
вот
nuggets from
просто
zombie pig
стоят
that
там.
spawn in the portals.
Yeah.
And that would mess up the crafting system, because the rest of the slime blocks, slime balls, get sent to the
У них
crafting
где-то
system,
стоит дом с
little
компами, как
hut
эти механизмы, которые
PC
держат этот
that
сервер.
enemy is standing on.
Yep.
And they get placed as shulker boxes there. Then you take them out, craft them into slime blocks, and put them into this shulker box. And from there, they actually get taken to the top to with an item elevator to a double chest here, and I think somebody who designed the computer should then explain that.
So
Don't need it anymore.
what are the 16.25% and 0.97?
Забираешь поршнями, сталкивая на полвок. Ну эти сталкеры, шалкеры, они просто стояли на месте.
So we have
Шалкеры стоят на месте.
970,000
Как ты поставишь
slime
шалкер
stores,
новый?
And that means 16.25% of the storage's capacity is filled up.
Wow.
But yeah, how do we know this? Automatically.
Шалкер можно ставить?
Here next
А, ну
to
это
the
все меняет, да.
rifle hall of the
Окей.
piston bolt.
Yeah.
We store the shulker boxes manually in those double chests here. And then,
Все из
we have to go
золотых
around
блоков.
and check out the computer in the back.
This is
Все из золотых блоков.
this is so crazy.
Okay, so this is a fun one. Basically, this whole first bulk part until like somewhere over here, it's just counting all the signal strength together.
Цирк комбинаторики.
So all so-called full adders. Then basically all that does the
Они
return
каким-то образом сделали
is
систему,
conversion,
которая
from
позволяет
next to decimal.
высчитывать процентное
Until,
соотношение
somewhere over here in
заполненности
the front.
склада.
And from here on till the display is multiplying by a fixed number, which is the amount of slime blocks.
Грязь реже золота.
Right.
And then in the back.
Циркует схема? Я думал... Да, я перепутал с циркус.
Easy.
Похожие слова.
You know, I'm not going to pretend that I fully.
С округлением до сотых, все верно.
And I would never be able to build it. I do understand what it does, but the way that you've done it is. Yeah, this is mind-blowing. This truly is mind-blowing.
Я бы хотел когда-нибудь поставить просто часы работающие, но они сделали...
Of your storage, how filled your storage is, but.
Да, понятное дело, но одно дело сделать индикатор одного сундука, другое дело всего склада в сотых. Окей, пошли третье видео. Это я еще не смотрел. Я смотрел первые два, но это я не смотрел.
Onto the SciCraft server. For those of you who don't know what SciCraft is, it's basically a bunch of first-class nutcases, people who are ridiculous Minecraft engineers, all in one place, all playing survival together, building amazing, incredible things. I've had the opportunity to hop on there and check out the sort of stuff that they've built, and it just keeps getting more and more crazy. I really don't know what to say anymore.
So this is the third ice farm we built or something like that. And the idea here is that you
Ферма льда?
just get pushed around by water.
Yeah.
And you can use it AFK and just hold left click. And it moves you around, and time it takes you to go once around.
Ты зажимаешь левую кнопку, и она тебя двигает.
Yep.
And every once in a while your pickaxe breaks and you get to spend a new one.
I think Iskal just recently built the. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, Iskal built one of these just recently on the Hermit.
Она тебя двигает, чтобы ты добывал лед вручную. Блин, это гениально. Это гениально.
The ice camp, and you think that ice is useful if you have a farm this big for it.
So the problem this farm here is it is too big.
Oh really?
Проблема этой фермы, что она слишком большая.
Take a look from the top down.
Yeah.
It's basically the same with the netherwort farm we showed earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
The random tick range, or the range in which ice grows, got reduced in, I think it was 1.9.
Right.
Yep.
And because of that, the ice won't form back by the time you come around, because you're not loading all of the, or it's not freezing everywhere.
Yeah. No, because the radius is just not quite far enough around the player, so it's literally not loading the space for ice regrowth.
Что-то там у них проблема из-за тиков, из-за загрузки, не могу понять.
Quote-unquote temporary fix. The farm you can see over there.
Oh right, I see.
Towards the northwest. This one uses a nifty trick,
right?
Which is you need a block of ice or any block for the ice to form next to it, right?
Right. Yep.
And just form in the middle of water.
Yep.
And in the old days you had designs where you like had pistons below that pushed up blocks of and the ice would form next to them. Right?
Yep, yeah, I remember that. Yep.
But then you had always hard time like pushing the ice out, and, getting space for more ice to and so on.
Yep.
So here the idea is we attack when it's night, and before it becomes day, we run through a flying machine with Frostwalker boots.
Right.
To
Слишком
create
медленно
frosted ice,
замерзает.
Yeah.
which will melt during the day, but before it melts, other ice can form next to it.
Ферма настолько большая, что игрок слишком далеко для спавна льда может
uh,
находиться.
freeze together.
That's really, really interesting. So the Frostwalker comes through at night time, and then just covers the entire place in Frostwalker. I'm guessing, or does it cover the entire place, or do you create like strips?
Да, РНГ-манипулятор был во второй и в первой тоже.
Frostwalker 1
Right.
For strips. So then even at night already ice can form.
Right, that's really,
next
really
to those
smart.
Frostwalker ice blocks.
А зачем лед вообще? Ну, типа, у них есть ферма, в смысле, производитель льда есть. Зачем им ферма льда? А, эти ребята, которые...
They push it down.
Right, I see.
So we create a 12 block high ice block at the bottom, and it's really one of the most satisfying things in Minecraft.
Yeah, no, I agree. I always have to point out that breaking either... For me, it goes between sand and ice, but I think ice...
Капец, у них там льда. Это насколько он глубокий там?
Time to apologize for the fact that my OBS, the thing that I use to record my Minecraft videos, decided not to record any Minecraft audio during the entire world tour. I do apologize for that.
This farm is mad.
Он говорит, что аудио перестало работать при записи.
Okay, I'm preparing my...
If you turn around,
wow, this is beautiful.
This is the new ice farm.
Что это такое?
Look at the ice storage.
What is that?
The new ice farm.
This is the new ice farm.
Это новая ферма льда. Что? Зачем им столько льда? Просто... Это новая ферма льда.
I love the beacon as well. But this farm...
Они сначала сказали, что та ферма у вас слишком большой. Что с этой фермой не так?
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
I think this is like one of the builds that is like... We had a bunch of other builds that had like a lot of blocks needed, like 500,000 blocks or something like that. But this is one of the ones where it's like...
Немного.
Okay, one block doesn't fit. It won't work.
Enemy, you've mined 25 million ice.
Yes.
Indeed.
In his sleep.
What did you need it for? Other than I mean, how much of that ice was used to fill this perimeter? Because how big is this perimeter that you've got here?
That's actually not much.
This is a 33 by 33 chunk perimeter, and we use none of it.
23 на 23.
Yeah, why did you... Does it need to have a perimeter, or...?
It runs better with less lag, of course.
So it's...
perimeters reduce lag in that case.
Okay, so it's literally a lag...
Просто зачем?
I'm gonna have to get a screenshot of this.
У них в центре еще куча порталов.
Another planet. And what are these nether portals in the middle? Okay, someone explain this. Someone...
Okay, so the upgrade of this farm is that we don't move around anymore. We bring the ice to the player.
Right.
And we also don't swap out the pickaxes anymore. We use mending to repair it. And in order to get the XP, we have a zombie pigman farm. So that's why we need all those nether portals.
I see. I was wondering about those nether portals. That didn't make much sense. But now, so the zombie pigmen, they spawn from the nether portals. You're getting the XP from those because I'm guessing they're aggro. So the XP, you kill those and then they'll... Yep.
Это ферма пигманов. Неважно. Кубери, спасибо за фоллоу.
It's probably best if you go in spectator mode, to be honest. But generally you climb down here.
Now, is this like a farm that can break very easily, or...?
It's pretty stable.
Okay.
Yeah.
all of the piston
25
push.
million ice doesn't come exactly from an unstable
Yeah,
farm.
I was gonna say, yeah, that would be.
But I'm a bit worried. Oh no, it's real.
Whoa.
Okay, there we go.
Что за?
Oh wow, my frames have gone through the floor. We've got a slideshow of the ice farm. It's insane. So how many ice
Как
per
оно?
hour are you?
Он
you
ломает
farming
их.
here?
70,000 per hour.
70,000 per hour.
The
On a good
theoretical max would be
40 тысяч
72,000.
за час?
So you
Because you
guys
can
have
only
been
break.
slacking then.
Зачем?
Actually, T5 made a new version which gets even closer to that.
Для чего?
Over there. You can only break one
70.
ice block per client tick.
Просто по
so
приколу.
then, yeah, 72,000 per hour.
That's insane. And so,
There's a
I mean, to get
huge step
25
forward.
million, that's still you've been doing a lot. I mean, just from rough numbers, I mean that's 10 hours is 700,000, and that you're not
I
even
think-
close.
I AFK'd for
Медленно
2
пишут в
to
чат.
get my 22.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what project did you need all of this ice for? Was it just in general? Was it for fun? What was it?
Earlier talked about how horrendous the crafting recipe for blue ice is.
Right.
And when 1.13 came out, we still had the plan to update at some point.
Right, I
but,
see.
And then we thought, yeah, for the
Ферма
blue ice,
дракона.
we need a cool farm, and we want to have 1 million blue ice. And for 1 million blue ice, you need 81 million normal ice.
Yep. Yeah. No. And then you just decided that you're not actually going to update to 1.13, so the time was kind of not wasted because this is incredible, but it's not. I mean, do you have any use?
У них была ферма драконов?
No, not really, which is hilarious.
Ферма травы.
You can see that basically where the ice freezes.
Yep.
And we send those flying machines all the way to pushes it down every so often.
Right, I see.
And yeah. And then the rest is basically filled up with observers, rails to make it lag friendly and push it towards the player. So every 5 ticks, 5 blocks arrive in front of the player. It's also safe if the player gets a lag spike and fails to break a block, the farm doesn't break, so it's all taken care of. It's really reliable and stable.
See, that's what I was just about to ask. And how can you just guarantee that there's going to be 5 blocks available to the player just because of kind of statistics and the number of blocks that you're working with there, or does it occasionally?
Oh yeah, that's the minor loss in efficiency.
Right.
So it's still random based, and sometimes we don't get an ice. Yeah.
Right, I see. Okay, that makes
but we're
sense.
getting really close.
О,
with,
едут.
98% of the case, ice freezes and
Летающая
pushed in front of the
машина.
player.
That's crazy. Anyway, that's enough ice farms for
Мне
today's
интересно,
video.
как
Let's
они
move on to
работают,
the
эти
next
летающие
thing,
машины,
which I will warn you
как их вообще
is a little bit
строить.
technical. So what's this then?
Okay, this is now highly technical, and unfortunately not a lot of stuff is going on, but this is our permaloader.
Right.
So, yeah, this is a
Это
huge
загружатель?
trench, diagonal, which
Yep.
we made with flying machines.
Right.
So it's one of the nice uses for diagonal flying machines.
Oh, right, yeah.
And yeah, at the bottom, you can just see we marked out some chunks.
Да-да-да,
So
за шиворот
basically
себя
keep
тащит, все верно.
100 dummy chunks loaded at this location here.
Но как их
in
строить,
order
я
to
не знаю.
protect other chunks from being unloaded. Every 45 seconds, unloads chunks with the autosave, at least up to 1.12, and it's changed in the newer versions, but yeah, still playing 1.12.
Yep.
And that means also some chunks you want to keep loaded. For example, if you have a quarry running or just a storage system, also some chunks there would get unloaded. But that's something Gnambon found out. There is a certain priority which chunks get unloaded. The game only tries to unload 100 chunks, and those chunks here on the
Это
right
что,
diagonal,
дюперы
they have the highest priority to be unloaded.
этих?
So by keeping 100 of those dummy chunks loaded, we basically protect all the other chunks from being unloaded, which protects the machines there and so on.
Right, okay, and if you didn't do this, then there'd be a chance that chunks would unload.
Yeah, for
Бесконечный
example, the
загрузчик
complete
чанков.
which from transportation system and so on would not be reliable and would break. So we need this setup here.
So although it may not be the most exciting looking thing in the world, this is kind of the glue that holds the SciCraft server together. If this wasn't here, then nothing would function properly. Now we're going to see something that I personally really would like on the Hermitcraft server, because you have to admit, these guys and these guys are really annoying. Okay,
So similar to the mobster, which we also have system for bats and squids, but we can't really have them at spawn, so we go there too often.
Right,
so
yeah.
it's not an option since we would just despawn them all the time. So that's why we have.
Ну, конечно, типичная дорога из льда.
But yeah, we can just show that, I guess.
I'm interested to see it because that you know, it's something that I hadn't noticed, but I have kind of now, is that there doesn't seem to be that many bats on the server. Has it been running, or is that just?
Yeah, it was active. It was active.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, so if you go through the portal here, we can immediately see it to the left and the right.
Okay.
Yeah, also, it's necessary for some things because, for example, frosted ice can, like frosted ice, the tunnel core you saw, it actually broke once because
Подождите, что?
in the ice, sorry, in the water.
Почему они все сверху?
Really?
And because it didn't freeze, it couldn't be pulled by the piston, breaking the whole machine.
Yep.
Oh my word. That's amazing. So it
Подождите.
really did cause a problem.
Они засунули кучу сквиртов в одно место,
Don't show that to Peter.
чтобы они не спавнились на сервере.
The noise is horrible as well, and I can see the yeah, the squid. Are
И мух
definitely
тоже,
landing.
летучих. В смысле, мышей.
So, I mean, what have you done here? How come there are this many squid? Did you just gather them and then put them in there?
Yeah. So at the bottom, you can see improvised bat farm and an improvised squid farm. So we can AFK here, and basically just send everything to the nether, so we can overfill the mob cap. Because usually you only get to like 10 bats and 5 squid.
Right.
So in order to get a higher amount, we have to send them to the nether so that the mob cap is freed up again with those mobs.
Right.
And once we have, I think usually we have around 200 bats, 100 squid or so.
Yep.
Then we go to the nether and send them back to the overworld, and they land in those portals at the top.
And so this bat farm here, I mean, I'm guessing, so you're using, oh, so does it literally just kind of push them along?
Yep.
So even the reason it's looking that complicated is even though the bats are super small, they still need 2 blocks to spawn in.
Right. I did not know that.
That's just how Minecraft works.
Yeah. The next concept that the SciCraft guy showed me has made me rethink a lot of things that I thought were
Они все названы
This one
биркой,
is a little bit
охренеть.
special. This is, as Mango said, the very first
Что это
any
такое?
world build ever in survival.
Pre-observers as well, as just mentioned.
This
in the
is
chat.
1.8 tech, yes. It was built in 1.9, I think, or 1.10.
Wow.
And this is a 100 by 100 hole. Basically meant as a feasibility test if it even makes sense to build quarries in survival.
And does it?
Я не понял, для чего.
Technically not really with this one.
Кто
but
понимает
the later
английский,
quarries, yeah, for sure.
напишите.
Yeah. So,
Когда еще наблюдателей не было.
Mention it, yeah, this basically a quarry. Technically, Minecraft is a machine that automatically mines blocks.
Yeah, and stores them.
And stores them, yeah.
Yeah, that's the big part. If you only mine them, then you can just blow them up. But if you store them, that's the big part.
Wow.
So we have
Фирма Кварц мне, пожалуйста.
all the items get brought to.
And is this,
Как они
is that
в
this
воду
system
добывают
over here that I'm
это
guessing is
все?
kind of TNT dupers and perfectly timed pistons.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow. But as the guy said, this was the first generation, the first ever quarry built in survival Minecraft feasibility test. Things definitely improved from there, and we're going to see many more quarries in today's video.
The next quarry will be in the nether. Just basic reason is nether is way easier to quarry because there are not so many weird blocks with different behavior.
How big is this?
1,000 by 1,000.
1000 на 1000?
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Вот он ответ.
It doesn't even look that...
And also, you might notice it doesn't have any roof bedrock.
No, I had noticed that. This actually isn't that... Okay, I'm gonna say words here.
Охренеть.
Okay, and feel free to laugh at them. It doesn't actually look that complicated.
Fly up.
I can see things now.
О, боже мой.
Yeah, no, this is looking a little bit more chunky.
Насколько же
Yes,
много.
definitely
О,
way
боже.
smaller, in terms of slices than
Стоп,
the
они
first
еще и
quarry.
бедрок уничтожают.
This one is also vertical quarry, which is the main reason why it's so much faster. If you think about flat quarry, the bigger it gets, and, the time it takes multiplies by a factor of 2.
Right.
So, and this one here, this quarry completely flies by itself. So the whole quarry moves and mines blocks on the go.
The first quarry was a 100 by 100 and it took 12 days.
Yep.
The second quarry was a 360 by 360 and it took about 90 days.
Yep.
And this one here is a 1000 by 1000 and it took 100 days.
Yeah, that I was actually just about to ask if there were any nether fortresses or anything like that.
Nope.
No.
It's actually like this perimeter location.
Can I explain it? Like, this was kind of funny. This was so I was like new to SciCraft and I was fascinated by I don't know breaking bedrock. I always been. So I just go and design something, and I was about halfway done with it, and I go like, I want to break some bedrock.
Подождите, если камень края двигать в bedrock, то что, bedrock уничтожается? Или зачем он там стоит?
Follow through with it. I just go like, can I just break some bedrock randomly? And my man goes like, yeah, go break some bedrock over there. There's nothing over there. You won't break anything if you break bedrock over there.
Right, I see.
And then I go like, okay, I want to build like an 800 by 800 perimeter, and no one expected it would actually happen.
Yeah.
And then I kept breaking it. It took a lot of time. I think it took like an entire summer. And then by the time it was done, Paula goes like, there is no fortresses in this. Did you guys know that there is no fortresses in this entire 1000 perimeter?
I should probably explain this castle. Basically, XCOM told me I wouldn't.
Это ферма золота.
So I built it here.
Those are the best projects.
Нет?
Yeah, and then later, somebody decided that we can store actually the netherrack here.
And the storage system, just like everything on the SciCraft server, is really smart and really lag friendly, with the ability to lock all of the hoppers in the system with the flick of a lever to prevent lag. And then you can also have a smart lock system where the system detects when items are flowing through the system, it unlocks all the hoppers, allows items to flow through.
Мне очень интересно, как они избавляются от лагов.
Hoppers again, once again, to stop the server from lagging. That's the sort of thing that keeps the server alive for 4.5 years.
The first quarry, which we tested in the Mesa quarry, we're gonna build another one. And we searched with amidst for the best Mesa quarry spot. We can build the biggest quarry and run it for the longest amount of time. And it happened to be about, was it 60,000 blocks away from spawn.
Right.
So we needed to find a way to get there. Piston balls still take forever.
Yep.
And then XCOM really came up with a nice idea how we could get there real quick with ender pearls.
So this is like an ender pearl cannon then.
Yep.
Yes.
Just making sure that I'm correctly aligned because I don't want to get this wrong. Here we go. This seems odd. I can see my ender pearl is doing some weird stuff. My F3 screen is open. Right,
And
the ender pearl is
FPS
gone.
drops.
Охренеть!
I hit something. Oh, I'm being shot between towers, am I?
Yes. And look at your
5000
F3.
блоков.
So it just traveled 8,000 blocks.
That's insane. I hadn't even quite registered what had happened. It's really strange. Yep.
And really the groundbreaking
Охренеть.
part in this was XCOM's research into ender
Вот это я
pearl
понимаю
alignment.
тема.
Right.
Because if you shoot an ender pearl like this, that far, that fast, then even the slightest offset will result into a very far distance
Yeah.
not correct.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, and then we all pretty much chipped in over multiple weeks developing TNT duping modules that can deliver us this amount of TNT that we need, and really spend a long time on all kinds of stuff, and then we actually managed to do all of this.
Wow.
So here we have a gigantic TNT duper array that dupes, I think,
500
TNT per slice.
Что-то с динамитом.
And can I
compacts it all down and shoots it with other TNTs over into a single spot. and then blows up right in front of the ender pearl.
Could I watch someone use the Ender Pearl cannon?
А,
I'd
ну
love
это,
to see
собственно,
that
с
happen.
этим самым.
Give me a second.
I'm already right there.
Alright.
Because
Well,
С
I
телепортом.
really...
So, either one.
Это все
I'm
телепорт.
interested to see
Are you
this.
guys
Ready?
at the other side or this side?
This
Other
side.
side.
Mesa side.
Точечно
I'm
запускают
shooting
на
going now.
8000 блоков.
Okay, I can see the Ender Pearls. The Ender Pearl gets kind of moved around with slime blocks.
Yeah, this is like actually really complex.
Офигеть.
Yeah.
Вот эта вся машина одновременно взрывает весь динамит так, чтобы отправить один жемчуг края на 8000 блоков.
Basically, we dupe the first packet of TNT.
Yep.
It falls down, and then we dupe with the same machine. We dupe a second piece of TNT and throw it slightly in front of it.
Right.
And the first packs of TNT.
Да, зачем, если у них вот такая система
in
есть?
between each other, and then they blow up and move the TNT forwards.
Now this is something that you can see very, very nicely in slow motion. So you can watch
Офигеть.
pushed forwards by all of the other TNT to the front of the cannon, and then the TNT explodes.
Это пушка, запыляющая Ender Pearl на 8000 блоков.
And the fact that they can shoot that Ender Pearl to an exact location, like the top of a tower. I mean, that's NASA engineer stuff. So this is the quarry then.
Yes.
So as I mentioned, we built the thing, the pearl cannon, because we didn't want to
Это просто нечто.
build a piston bolt there, but by now we actually do.
О, это та самая карта.
Oh, so this is where the map is.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of leaves here.
Yes.
There was scaffolding for the quarry.
Should mention that on the other side, the decoration was Freestyle Fox. Did you make the decorations?
Yes, and I had it
Из
designed
каких
and
блоков
built
это
in
сделано?
something like 24 hours because we had a world tour coming up, and I didn't feel that a single 1x1 hole in bedrock going down to a portal was appropriate for something
Жесть.
like this quarry. So
Really good, yeah.
That's nuts. I mean, even the map itself is pretty insane. So I'm
640 by 640 blocks, as Panic said last time.
Yep, this is one of Panic's designs.
Yeah, this looks amazing.
Actually took weeks to design. I had no internet in my flat.
StarCraft еще.
So you just...
SciCraft.
And yeah, I had free time, so I decided I'll build a map.
I found my face. Nice.
Yes.
That's awesome.
As you can see, this perimeter that the quarry mined out slowly turned into our map building perimeter because it's not a perimeter down to bedrock, and so we don't really have a use for that big of a space. And then we just decided, let's use it for the maps we plan to build.
Yeah, and it's also massive, as you can see.
Yeah, the pyramid is super big.
Yeah, this is
our biggest hole.
This is nuts. I'm still flying. 720 by 3000. I'm going to be flying for quite some time then.
3600 actually.
We
Капец.
could fly back. We recently added a piston bolt all the way to the
fly
end.
north.
Просто представьте лететь такое расстояние.
Yeah, you have to get a feel for it. I mean,
3000 блоков.
This is... And how far down does it go? I'm assuming you went down to Y equals
Y10.
10. Yeah, because I'm guessing lava
The obsidian is kind of annoying.
Yeah. What do you do about obsidian and things like that?
That's actually something we had to do with this quarry. We had to remove it manually.
Wow.
It was about 300 obsidian blocks within 100 million other blocks, luckily, so it wasn't too much work, but it had to be done manually. There was no way around it, really.
So did you do that beforehand and then you boot up the quarry, or do you do it as it comes?
Masmas had a program that would tell us the exact coordinates of certain blocks, and that's how we removed it.
That's amazing.
To remove all mob spawners, all chests, all obsidian.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many of those blocks were there? There must have been quite a few.
In total, it was 500 blocks.
That's really
low.
Not that
took a few hours, but it wasn't that bad compared to the over 100 million blocks we mined.
Yeah.
Он долетел до
You're
конца.
arriving at the quarry itself.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing it. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
We
yeah.
did run over a
What the fuck?
village too.
Oh, you picked up a village. I like that.
Oh, poor villagers.
Okay, give me a
So
sec. I
then-
want to get a screenshot of this thing in all of its glory.
Oh, боже
I'll go
мой.
into just because.
Render distance isn't big enough.
No, I know, but the fact that it just kind of fades out of render distance makes it like the greatest thing ever.
So the interesting fact about this quarry is the last one also moved itself forward and mined 1 row of blocks at a time. This one mines 11.
Wow. And where does it?
Посмотрите на эти бревна.
So it grabs 11. So the old quarry. Yeah, let's just turn it on.
Она как будто
Okay,
просто
I'm gonna get-
всплющивает всю породу. О боже
Negative
мой.
frames a second. I'm gonna go back in time here, but that's fine.
Oh,
That's not that bad.
So right now you can see the block grabbers moving down.
Oh yep. Oh
And
my
once
word.
they reached all the way to the bottom, you can see stuff happen.
Oh, it's at the last slice.
Что она делает?
Then you can at least see it moving forwards. Yeah, now we just pull the blocks out, and then we send the flying machine back up, and
Она делает их
we
выше?
push 11 blocks up into the TNT system at the top.
So how does it know that there are 11 blocks?
Собирает блоки.
Yeah, that's the whole system in the back. The stations, they stop the flying machine every 11th block.
Right.
So every 11th block we have to
Yes.
build one of those modules.
So
That
the
makes
orange
sense.
stained glass stops
Yeah.
the block grabbers.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Because that's what I was wondering. That's what I didn't quite understand about how these things function. And then with the TNT. Okay, well I'll just watch and see what
Yeah.
happens.
We have to temporarily store those blocks in order to process them. So we push them up first, and then we got another flying machine at the top that pushes them down one after the other, so the TNT system can handle. Okay, now they get all pushed forward, and we tube TNT, blow up the blocks, and they land in a water collection system at the bottom.
And
И
this
они
water
все
collection system is
лутаются.
mobile.
It's
Using-
movable, yeah.
Using.
That's where we use the Frostwalker again. To
Oh
make
my
water
word!
sources.
And I'm currently following the blocks along because I just want to see where they go.
Mhm.
But this is nuts, and that's all done. So all of this is totally mobile. It will get pushed along.
Yep.
The water sources get moved. Everything gets moved.
Yep.
This is the coolest thing.
Капец.
Okay, this is now winning
Вся
the
эта
coolest thing I think
шняга
I've seen on
полностью
this server.
Mission
двигается.
accomplished.
This is so cool.
Yeah, you can stand the block stream if you want. Then
Yes.
your inventory should fill up really quickly.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea actually.
The
Okay.
amazing thing is the size of the quarry. Like there has been development on quarry tech, but the size of this quarry is amazingly, and it's really like friendly.
Oh, it looks like you can't even pick everything
No,
up.
I'm not able to pick everything up. The things are flying past me way faster. I love the fact so you have this little. This is like a little I guess item stream that is pre-built. I'm guessing,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
And then it just kind of
So
slips past it.
the storage is stationary.
Yep.
It's not really possible to make a movable storage.
No, of
right now.
course. Well, I didn't
Капец.
even think it would be possible to make movable item water streams. This is the best. This is so awesome.
It takes 17.5 minutes to mine one slice, so to move one block forward.
Right.
Сколько он сказал?
The Nether quarry still took over an hour or 1.5.
I think it was 2 hours per
2
slice.
hours even, yeah.
Was this a challenging thing to build, or was it actually?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I think this is the project that took the most time at a single location. So the Witch Farm project definitely took longer, but I think we worked on this here for 3 or 4
17 минут на
months
один
just
слой.
placing down blocks.
Right. Now there we
С
go.
учетом, что один слой настолько огромный. Я одно не могу понять, зачем им вон там вот такая полоса эндера.
And everything's just kind of shifting
Наверняка.
forwards.
Yep.
And kind of rebuilding itself in a way, and then getting ready to process more items.
Mhm.
Now the roof is moving, but the roof has to move slowly.
Для чего там
so,
такой слой?
It moves only.
Yeah.
If you fly on top, you see that only a 3 wide strip of the roof is moving at the time.
Yeah, because otherwise.
the light updates would be too, or the moving blocks would be too much.
I'm just blown away by it. As you can tell from my voice, I actually don't know what to say with this thing. This is the best thing ever. And yeah, I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm
Эти березы это вообще нечто.
I'm speechless on this one. I can't stop getting screenshots of it.
We can give you that later. Mango has this awesome chunky render of it.
That would be
We
very
can see
handy.
the whole thing.
Капец,
because I'd love
насколько
to be able to
много.
see the entire thing. I mean, it's so difficult to even get the scale of it. And just in case it wasn't already clear, yes, 720 blocks wide this thing is. 720 blocks. It has to be the biggest working flying machine ever built. It has to be. And I think that's going to actually wrap things up for today's SciCraft World Tour. So once again, as always, thank you so much to the members of the SciCraft server.
И это еще не все. Удаление мира.
Today is going to be the final episode of the SciCraft Survival Tour series, and before we
Они
start,
удалят
I want to
этот
say a
мир.
huge thank you to all the members of the SciCraft server for generously giving up their time to allow me to pop on there and see all of the wonderful things that they've built. I think in total we spent around about 15 hours taking a look around the world, so it's incredibly generous of them, and I just want to say all of their links can be found down in the description. I would highly suggest checking them out if you're interested in this technical sort of Minecraft content. And I also just want to say a huge thank you for the massively positive response that we've had to all of the episodes. It's been amazing to see. I'm so happy to see this side of Minecraft still getting huge amounts of appreciation now that the game is so old. So without further ado, let's crack on and take a look at the final builds. And I have to say, they are even more insane.
Представьте всех этих ребят на скайблоке.
I don't know how that's even possible. First up on the to-do list, gigantic, massive mob farm. Yeah, because this is something that I was wondering about. This is something that I was wondering about because I saw it off in the distance and then I've realized
Да, они тогда показывали этих.
when we were doing the first world tour. So this is just a gigantic mob farm, is it?
Mob farm, yeah. Build up in the sky.
Твою
We knew
мать.
about the whole chunk or the spawning mechanism. So we want to build a mob farm as low as possible.
Yep.
So we didn't know it back then. Build it up high, and had to make it huge to get enough spawning space.
Yeah. I mean, this is this an efficient design or not really?
Yeah, it was at the time the fastest mob farm. I think it was 110,000 items per hour.
Right. I've just fallen through it.
Unfortunately, it's also one of the things that got broken by 1.9, which also led us to not update it quickly.
Right, I see.
So it's no longer working.
This is very, very impressive. And then you kind of have like a perimeter. Yep, you do have a perimeter.
At the bottom we had a guardian farm as well.
Wow.
It's hand dug, correct?
Yep, that perimeter was also done by hand without TNT duping or anything.
Посмотрите, как там снизу все двигается.
I love the guardian, the ghasts down at the bottom.
А это гасты?
That's the guardian farm.
Yes. Yeah. So it's actually still working. Should we quickly turn it on, maybe?
I keep having to reload all my chunks.
It needs to have the glowstone replaced with redstone blocks sometime.
We might have to turn off the mob switch for this.
I can do it.
Basically, the dispensers now flood. Only move blocks, and the guardians can spawn, fall down, get funneled into a hole directly in front of the player with the gas.
Yeah.
And the player will just stand there in the middle and kill them, get a ton of XP.
This is so cool. I mean, I love watching farms that make use of ghasts. I love that. It's always so satisfying. And so was this one of the first builds that you built on the server?
Yeah.
And I mean, how did you form SciCraft? I've never even thought to ask that. Was that just a bunch of like-minded people thought it would be a good idea to build some ridiculous...
Спавнер в воздухе висит.
Yeah, so that was sort of a random thing. I mean, at some point I just made a call on YouTube. I mean, I made a few Iron Farm videos before.
Yep.
So I had a tiny fellowship, and so at some point I just said like, yeah, whatever.
Капец, она огромная.
Running anyways. Originally I had for some friends, but they lost interest.
Yep.
Cobblestone Farm.
So I just said like, yeah, let's just ask for people to join.
По-моему,
I don't know. Maybe.
По-моему, он кое-что спалил.
Sort of
По-моему, он
took off because a lot of
Заспойлерил.
crazy people joined.
Там был визор, который переименован в
Over time, yeah,
Cobblestone
it just
Farm.
grew and it quickly became this, yeah, super high standard server, and
О боже мой.
well,
That's
the rest is just how it went.
that's such a cool story. So it wasn't kind of planned. It wasn't like you got like the dream team together. It was just
Nope.
just luck.
Completely random.
Yeah, luck in a way, and just right place at the right time. That's
Во второй
amazing.
части?
And
Серьезно?
it's continued going strong for this long. That's fantastic.
So this is the old villager trading hall. Also one of the 1.8 builds.
Yep.
But now it's not really working anymore. But the idea back then was to have a carrot,
Такие
potato,
коты
and a pumpkin
стоят.
farm.
Yep.
All integrated into the villager trading hall.
Yep.
So we could turn that into emeralds and use those emeralds to buy books and tools. Yeah, and we still have all of our villagers there, so the good ones, that all the book trades, so mending for 10, and we don't have all the perfect book trades, but gotten pretty close with every villager.
Yeah.
Also got the perfect pickaxe trade, which unfortunately took us over 6,000 villagers to check.
Really? Wait,
Yeah,
where is this?
that
I need to
and
see
we were
this.
unlucky.
Oh yeah,
Right
there
here.
it is. Wow, and for 11 emeralds as well. That's not bad. All of these villages are surrounded by farms. Now,
Кого они
by
там
SciCraft
искали
standards, these are
столько?
tiny farms, but for someone like me, they're still relatively big. So I personally found this area really inspirational. This is
I also remember that
60
my
жителей.
first SciCraft video was about that villager breeder here.
Oh really?
Quite a while ago, yeah.
I think it was also the first villager breeder that made use of this separated style. So back in the day, you just threw a bunch of villagers on a crop field. This impulse.
У них есть скайблок?
Yep.
And then I think Mango actually figured, or others figured actually
Я не
out that
могу
it's
открыть
much more
это видео.
efficient to pair them up and keep them in pairs, so they always have their breeding partner with them.
Yeah, I must admit, I've never seen. I was looking at this just a couple seconds ago, thinking I've never really seen a villager breeder that looks like this before. So this is interesting to me. Anyway, moving on to the next project.
This is also a thumbnail farm.
Whoa,
Что
this is a
это?
fancy one. Yeah, this is a nice looking one.
Very good decorated it.
I am.
Oh yeah, took a while to build all of that stuff.
Wow.
I think like
Wow.
one layer that you can see. I mean, it's very much layered. Just the decoration outside, one layer going once around took like an hour or so.
I bet. No, yeah, I believe it. This is
So
a.
it's literally going around building layer by layer, and
It's also the standard SciCraft size, so it's 100 by 100 by 100.
Very nice. And
There's a melon farm, by the way.
I was gonna say, and what is it? So this is a melon farm. Now, why do you need this many melons? Is this just for villager trading, or?
Чё, мелон?
We needed it to build
А,
the
это
sugarcane farm
этот самый,
later.
да?
Right.
Арбуз.
Okay. Is that any particular reason? Is that for
Do we turn
immovable
it on?
objects or?
Usually it
Yeah,
goes on
not
like
sticky.
we need a shulker box of melons, and then someone goes and builds.
Почему ландшафт не расхерачен?
at that time there were no shulker boxes.
Okay, so yeah, great.
Let's do a single harvest.
Stay right there, Mambo.
Yeah.
Stay right there.
Melons incoming.
Here.
So melons
Remember-
incoming. I
remember
like
the
that.
wheat
They
farm?
basically overlapping. with the
Everyone else
boxes.
get off of.
Okay,
О боже
stay
мой.
right there.
Oh wow. Okay, my frame rates are going down.
О боже
I
мой,
don't have
сколько
many
их там?
spots in my inventory, but
Should we open the overflow maybe?
Куда?
I
Зачем, боже мой?
Just separate back real quick. Methods you
Okay,
want to
craft
deliver?
it.
Они делают... Они... Их настолько
So is this
много,
so
что
you
они
can easily
выполняют
craft
из
up, or watch out,
себя
you might go into the overflow.
So you can AFK there and
полные
just
арбузы. Они из
using the
долек
blocks
делают
immediately.
полные
We
арбузы.
don't store the slices. We store it immediately in block form.
Now, if you're wondering how the farm actually functions and produces this many melons, well, here we go. So, I mean, it's a fairly simple farm, I guess. So it's literally just a manual harvest kind of thing, is it? And then you just stand there and gather up all the drops.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one signal going
Yep.
through, similar to the sugarcane farm.
Yep.
And yeah, no bud design or anything
No.
because those tend to get stuck at some point.
Yep.
Yeah, and then after the whole row or the whole sequence is finished, then just start again at the beginning.
Капец,
Now,
он
if you're
просто
wondering
берет
what
и
sugarcane
выплевывает.
farm they're talking about, well, is this one right here?
Okay, so we have trio of those 100 by 100 by 100 farms. The
Yep.
Netherwort farm you saw already.
Yep.
And the melon farm, and now the sugarcane farm as well.
Right.
Last one.
Yeah, this one is the last one, and all of them have the similarity that the basic concept is quite easy, but you can only make it faster by making it bigger.
Bigger, yep.
And yeah, I mean, sugarcane farms aren't that hard to do, right?
Nope.
But if you want to have a lot of sugarcane, you have to build a big sugarcane farm, and that's what you see right in front of you right now.
And is this an active? Is this just a? So this isn't fully automatic. This is just a one harvest kind of deal. I'm assuming.
This one works similar to the melon farm, so you have a signal. Yeah, you have a signal going through, and once.
Прикольная система, то, что у них это самое. Поршни сами себя двигают.
Because most of the stuff has been grown.
Just to make that doubly clear, you essentially have a redstone line on the outside that kind of snakes along. So if you imagine that all of the farming modules are like a grid, then this redstone line runs through, activating each square on the grid. It goes across, then goes up a layer, then goes back across the other way, and gradually it makes its way around until every single one of the farming modules in the grid has been activated once, and then the redstone signal goes all the way back around and starts again. So essentially, it's like a big redstone clock with a snaking line that gradually harvests things. There's no bud switches or any kind of things like that that make things unreliable. It's just good old-fashioned redstone. And this next farm features some really nice, good old-fashioned pixel art. Wow, this is awesome. This is one of the coolest perimeters.
Yep.
Oh.
Thank you.
Who designed this? Was that? I mean, I'm guessing that's kind of, I guess, slightly Spider-Man
That was actually
logo-y.
me for a change.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Это ферма пауков?
How awesome. And this is a spider farm. Well,
Spider farm. Spider-only mob farm.
Quite obviously.
So of course you can force only spiders.
Это все воронки?
Because they're the
Нет, это
shortest
полублоки.
mob. They fit in a one wide gap, unlike zombies, creepers, and skeletons.
Yeah.
That's what we use here.
Как они сделали
Text
спаун
the
только
spawn
пауков?
pressure plates. As soon as they spawn, they get
А, ну
pushed
полтора блока
down
точно.
and killed with fall damage.
Yep.
Then we have hopper minecarts at the bottom, going back and forth, collecting the drops, and of course the central storage where everything is then deposited. Pretty straightforward, but a lot of time also went to this. It's quite a large farm.
Yeah, absolutely. And is this an efficient farm? Is this?
Yeah, it's about 80,000 string power.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of string.
Faster than your quadruple cave spider spawner.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Yeah, no, I can see now. I can see all of the spiders dropping
the
out.
Spiders flying.
Yeah.
Fastest spider farm of its time again, but not anymore.
So this is another perimeter.
Дождь из
one of the many
пауков.
perimeters that you guys have on the SciCraft server. And that's just did you build this farm when you knew about subchunks, or was this
Not really. We could have built this lower, of course. It would have been a bit more efficient. But we're limited really by the mob cap, so
yeah,
it's fine.
That's funny.
Что
So
это за
you
фигня
just chose
снизу?
to build it low because you
Из
just thought it would be
глоустоуна.
cooler?
Yeah.
That's so funny. It just so happens that it was actually, in a way, helping it out a little bit.
So basically, we could have built this lower and then smaller and get the same rates. It would have been an
И с той стороны тоже какая-то фигня.
Well, so when did they find out about subchunks? Was that was
Well, still, I think at the end of the 1.8 era.
Right.
This was also one of the first projects we did in 1.8.
Right.
Then we really understood what's going on.
How was that perimeter made, by the way?
That was actually made by making a dispenser grid, filling it up with TNT, and activating it with redstone lines.
So it was an old school Minecraft quarry kind of thing. Well, not quarry, but auto.
Not really quarry, but use
Летающих
TNT,
машин.
Yeah.
My
Сделали
opinion,
этот
was
периметр.
a bit more efficient than the digging. Still quite a lot of effort, just craft the TNT, bring it here, fill in the dispensers. But
Yeah.
I think it's better than digging, actually.
Now we need to take the piston bolt.
Yep. Oh, for goodness sake. Is that because it's got cakes and part, it looks...
Yep.
Oh, and it's got 3.1... Oh, wow. How...
It's the piston bolt.
It's quite a long piston bolt, actually.
And how many, how many decimal points of
Почему это все в тортах?
pie do you have on this one?
It was 300 digits or something like that. Huh?
I think you have to ask Pala.
More, but
He's not around, sadly.
Allah made it and one.
Там
In the
цифры!
middle, then he had to.
No, we checked
No, I'm
it.
just kidding.
Oh, it's
What?
an urban legend.
They actually,
Also-
you guys actually checked it.
No. It was
Also,
I actually
somebody
did.
committed a heinous crime. Somebody took one bite out of one of the cake in the middle.
Что это за цифры?
Like, I'm
Они
serious.
по-любому что-то значат, да?
That's also hilarious.
Okay, so this is the farm running at full speed. This is not
Ферма
Kurga's
железа.
768 village iron farm that I just built as a temporary farm. Took like 2 days to build the structure and another half a day to transport.
Это та самая, да?
Villagers, so really not a big.
Нет,
project.
это еще мощнее,
I
по-моему.
mean, it's a decently big project though. I mean, this is very impressive, and the number of iron golems that are flying out of this thing.
Yeah, it's about 30,000 iron an hour for 768 villages, and actually we have this was,
30,000, это
really
сколько?
haphazardly planned. So the storage
40?
is, for example, quite crap.
Right.
So this is like just a set of shulker box loaders. All the poppies go into lava directly because didn't want to store those. Those are extra effort.
Yeah.
Then they just go into this chest wall here.
Yep.
This has been running for like the past month at full speed. And the nice thing is actually that there are 70 population villagers here.
Драконьи яйца
in
что-то
lazy
делают
chunks when this farm is
особенное.
running because it's loaded by the chunk loading grid you can see at the bottom.
Right. Okay.
And
Разрушают
lazy
бедрок,
chunks, which
например.
means they cause no lag. Which
Right.
means that this farm is actually really lag friendly even when it's running at full speed.
Wow. And I mean, so 30,000 iron an hour. Does this run at all times, or is it often?
Yep, it's been on
Шалки
for about a
стакаются?
month
Нет, они не
at
стакаются.
full speed.
It's not even that laggy.
Yeah, I mean it's about
It's okay.
it's something like 8, 9, 10 ms. Like that's what I got from an empty well. when
Пустые
nobody
тоже не
else was
должны
on.
стакаться.
That's insanely impressive. I mean, this is so 760. What made you choose that number? Is it just natural? Could you have gone bigger than this?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you could have gone bigger than this, but reason I chose this was basically that
И ведь это все будет сломано в следующей
iron
версии.
farms work with a certain amount of villagers, like villagers and villages.
Right.
So each of these, you can maybe on the side of the farm see the rail lines that go into the door clusters.
Yep.
And there are 3 of them, and each of those represents 256 villages. So 768 is 256 times 3. So
Right.
it's quite a natural number for an iron farm to be.
Okay.
Like, in villages. And 768 villages specifically because this was about the same effort as a 512 village iron farm.
Right. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. I was just making sure, like, it wasn't just like, all your birthdays combined or something like that. It's like, let's do that.
I think the most natural base number for iron farms, even if you don't scale them that high, is 32.
Right.
Or 16 if you really scale it down.
Yep.
But then it's always a multiple of 32 pretty much.
Okay. That makes sense.
Because that's... Yeah, and like, basically always increasing it to a full multiple of 32 is basically coming for free.
Right. Now, I mean, I'm watching the iron pour out of this thing, and it's just so satisfying. It's so cool to see these things working at full speed, and it is a real shame.
Я уже хочу посмотреть ферму в новой версии.
Probably explain the whole. Basically, this was planned to be normal terrain here, but somebody started digging here, and then it looked horrible. Nobody has admitted to starting digging here. Then it looked horrible, and somebody who also started digging removed all the chunk loading. This farm loads itself also, by the way, based on the village loader mechanic.
Yep.
And then I decided that it's just better to bomb it out with 3-directional TNT tubers than to dig it because it's less effort to bomb it down to bedrock.
I like that. Always an excuse to create some form of perimeter on the SciCraft server. There's always an excuse.
So this is pretty area on the server.
Yeah, this is
We're
really
really
nice.
focused on the decoration.
Yep.
This is our flower farm area, so this is not really a complex farm. So that gave us some freedom to focus on the aesthetics because it's also not giant.
Здание
It's kind of easy
прикольное.
to decorate a smaller farm, and this location was chosen because it's a bit special. You can get all the flower types in one location. So we got the flower forest biome and a swamp biome next to it to get the blue flower there, and also plains biome. Get some, I think the yellow and the red ones.
Oh, that's smart. That's very smart.
So we can maybe check out one of the flower farms. Maybe the one here in the plains biome. They're all placed in those houses. So also again, the flower farm, there's nothing special. I think you also built one of those shifting flower farms at some point in Hermitcraft.
Yeah, I've built a few of them.
Yeah. So we can also activate him from here, bone mill.
Они двигают землю,
floors,
чтобы
all the
собирать
minecarts
цветы.
collected.
Охренеть.
Nice and easy.
And then we
Почему-то я
of course
никогда об
bring
этом не
the
думал.
items to a central storage.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, you know, why would you not?
Yeah. Okay, the special thing is here we decided just to make it more interesting to transport all the items with minecarts instead of using the usual water streams or
Блин, это
hoppers, just to
прикольно
make
так
it more
выглядит.
interesting.
That's
It's a
very
nice
cool.
challenge as well. Also fits nice. So they're brought into the big factory building. So yeah, got 4 flower farms in total in different houses, and then all the rails lead into the big storage in the middle. The minecarts get unloaded, items was put into the storage pretty much.
Столько рельсов.
And this is also the location where we brought our glass to. So my
И все золотые.
array we had it spawn.
I didn't actually include that much of that segment, but here is the furnace array that they're talking about. It's actually really quite simple, making use of minecart hoppers. By SciCraft scale, is relatively small, but it's also incredibly efficient.
We had it fully automatic, so while nobody was on the server, we made glass and actually also brought it to this area and stored it here. And of course, flowers could be crafted into dye, so we could make colored glass in this area. This was the basic idea why we chose this place for the glass storage.
That's very cool. That's very smart. And this storage room, this is really, really cool. I love the idea of using the minecarts. I love seeing that sort of thing because that's a fun little challenge, and it's nice to watch the little minecarts just transporting items along and dumping them off.
Блин, там все в железе. Вы посмотрите, это все железные блоки.
Here as well, so we can turn on the farms from directly at the location, or we also can do it from here. So we got redstone lines. Yeah.
And that just activates it. That's now generating yellow.
Yeah, that activates it. Mm-hmm.
And you can.
So we just indicated it. That would be the swamp, the one on the left.
Yep.
And so on. Yeah.
Super, super cool. See, this is I love these sorts of projects because once again, these are kind of manageable to a certain extent. Like someone can watch this, a bit like myself, can watch this and think to themselves, "That's a fun project. Like I'd be able to get that done." And it's not totally ridiculous, but it's kind of well engineered and just smart, nice, very, very cool.
Yeah, then we actually got more. For example, the cactus screen. It's not covered by the flowers, so we have a cactus farm as well.
Yep.
Which is built in those cooling towers. We've got a industrial scene going on in this area.
Yeah.
Those are cooling towers. Cactus farm. We got a second one because again it was too slow. At some point we were annoyed. Then in this factory.
Ну, это обычные фермы.
Purple one. There's another cactus farm.
Yeah.
Another minor inconvenience. The cactus needed to be smelted, and we didn't build a furnace right here. But we always had a furnace array about 1200 blocks from this location.
Right.
So we decided to make a system to bring it over to that furnace array. So this is one we haven't shown yet, the furnace array. And smelt it there and then bring it back. And we used the minecart system again.
Wow.
So I'm not sure if you could follow me. Yep.
Yeah.
So here's our cactus storage from back then.
Yeah.
You could request a minecart.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Kim Zita.
Okay, so here it is. Chest minecart.
I heard the panic in your voice then.
Yeah. Can somebody fill up? My inventory is filled up with stuff. Okay, so we can fill it up manually, send the button, and then it's getting stored in a piston bolt. So if we go through that door, you can see There's yeah.
you've
There's actually an overworld piston bolt leading towards the furnace array.
That is the best thing ever. So you're literally piston bolting a little minecart chest along.
So basically, the minecarts get stored up there before, so they actually don't get sent before the player does, because the player has to load the chunks.
Of course,
So
yeah.
the minecarts get loaded, like.
Oh yeah, Mamba, come here. Down here.
Oh yep, down here.
There's another cart coming.
So I can see the minecart chest, and that's being, I guess, stored up.
Yep.
And
come
then.
And then Mambo needs to get in the minecart.
Is it the one on the right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. There we go.
Now
so he's placed behind the chest minecarts, and the piston will automatically start.
Oh, that is the coolest
and you
thing
stand
ever.
along with the chest minecarts.
That is so overkill for Cactus. This is what I love about this server, is that it's just getting Cactus green, but you're sending it back to another furnace array, and I love riding along with my items out in front of me. This is how I want to actually get around. I love this idea. I think it's fantastic. And so when was this built again? This was
4 years ago.
Right, okay. And this is still your main furnace array?
Yeah, it's a sad story, but yeah.
But a sad story, I think that's
decently
great.
320 furnaces, so we can fill it in here. And then we go down the ladders, you can see basically 1/2 of the furnace array.
Okay.
So those are getting filled.
Wow.
Did anyone see how quickly they get sucked in?
Вау.
Oh yeah, this is
Что так темно?
Gets sucked out of a single chest.
Почему так темно?
Okay.
Что дает такой эффект?
Not correct, because no
It takes a little
items.
while.
Полблоки?
Needs to fill up the chest. Plus, I didn't see anything being put into the chest.
But nobody put anything into. Oh, guys. Somebody put in some cactus.
Okay. It's starting up.
Oh, okay.
So.
And so this is how many furnaces did you say?
320 in total. Each of the wings we have 160. Yeah, there we go. The minecarts are now filling it up.
Oh yeah, no, I can see the.
Wow.
I can see the furnaces kicking into gear.
Офигеть.
And so if I go into spectator mode, will I be able to? Oh yeah. I mean, it's a fairly simple design, isn't it? It's just kind of a.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done ones like this in the past.
Она просто проезжает и заряжает каждую печь.
Yep.
Вау.
I need fuel for it.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Are you using a?
Это печка,
I can
блин.
see tree beard in the top of my screen. I imagine you've got like some kind of wood farm, which I can see.
А вот это самая ферма
I
деревьев.
imagine.
Correct. So we don't actually use tree beard. That's a different wood farm.
Yep.
But we use this tree farm. Where are you at?
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll fly down now. Wow.
So
I've always wanted to see one of these.
Is quite nice because it was, I think, the first big tree farm that was built with the flag efficiency first.
Капец лаги.
Not only the speed.
Right.
Yep.
So this is actually very low on redstone dust, and I think there's not any dust that is above signal strength that is needed.
Wow.
Well, there's some, because you don't have to be super strict about it, but it's quite decent.
Где они берут столько саженцев?
It's
Ведь
decently fast.
для работы фермы нужны саженцы ведь.
That is fast enough. I mean,
А ферма
that is-
саженцы не производит.
It's pretty slow for a 2x2 spruce tree farm, but it's fast for a tree farm.
Right. Yeah. Man, these things.
2x2s.
I love watching them work.
Yeah, 2x2 spruce tree farms go up to all the way up to like 320k an hour.
I did not know that. That's very
Производит?
impressive.
А
But that
как?
isn't the only tree farm they've got in the area. One of the coolest ones that I saw was the Universal Wood
А
Farm.
как?
Very fancy.
Let's run.
Или
off-road
оно
first.
сдвигает и листву
Stand here,
тоже.
get elevated up.
И уничтожает ее,
Turn
да?
this on. Can they come in here? So I'm gonna.
I'll pop into spectator mode.
Oh, yeah,
and I can
spectator
take a
mode.
look.
Yeah. Okay, so if you have oak mode on, then yeah, this is all lower down.
Yep.
And you would just stand AFK here.
Yep.
Place. Wait, let's get an oak sapling. Okay. Just stand here in AFK. And everything is pushed into the wizard cage. So
Wow.
this was the oak mode. Let's turn this back off and try the acacia mode, because it's a bit more complex because of the branches.
Oh, of course.
Um,
Yeah. The acacias grow in a weird shape. So I'm very curious to see what it does with those. And this is actually quite a compact design as well. This is like a little cube.
This is not that large. It's not super fast, but it's quite compact, decently fast.
Yeah.
It's a compromise.
Я только сейчас заметил, что
Gonna
этот
grow a
чел...
few acacia
Йо,
trees
это
here.
и манго.
Okay. Wow.
С головой барсука.
That was that was cool to watch. That's so fast. So does it push it into being a kind of a 1x1 and then take it out? Is that what's going on there?
Basically, at most you have 2 locks per layer.
Right.
So we need to make sure that we transport everything away.
Yep.
It's a little puzzle you have to put together. Try to transport all the locks out.
No, I bet. It's so cool to watch, though. It really is.
Yep. It's also decently quick.
Yeah,
and
that's
not
fast.
that large, the complicated build. We made faster ones like the old broken 1.8 one we showed you at spawn. It was even much quicker than this one, but also more complicated.
Right.
Alright, so this was the universal tree form. There's one tree type missing, which is the dark oak. We also have a separate tree form for that. Can't really put everything into one tree form because the dark oak form is already so complex by itself.
Wow.
I'm not sure if you're still following me. I'm gonna run that one next.
I'm now. Yeah, I can see you. I'm in spectator mode.
Okay, so the huge challenge with dark oak is getting enough saplings, because you obviously need 4, and it totally would need to break 80 leaf blocks. And you might even notice this if you harvest dark oak manually, they're sometimes a bit low on the sapling return rate.
Yep.
And it's even harder to do an automatic farm with that, because just the way dark oak generates, it's quite tricky to get enough saplings back. And this is the end was quite a challenge to get a fully automatic farm that returns enough saplings. I'm just gonna run it a little bit, and you can see what's all going on. It's a bit crazy.
Okay. Now, why? Oh, okay. I understand why you're going back and forth. That makes sense. And wow. So it's all in the leaf crushers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Это чисто ферма саплинга.
Things going on there. And then where is the? So the wood is being pushed across, and then is it being pushed downwards, or is this block always here?
So we don't use all the wood. We only use I think
the central section.
6x4.
Yeah.
6x4 that can be used for it.
That makes sense.
But now we could probably make a flying machine based one. That's still one of my plans to do at some point. That gets all the logs, but it's also quite complicated.
Yeah.
We get 24 logs each time we grow a tree.
This is amazing.
There's also been quite some development. We were actually the first ones that ever made such a farm that would return enough saplings. Still proud on that. One of the biggest achievements we made in the beginning.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's such a satisfying thing to watch.
Yeah.
I love watching all of the everything kind of knit in together. All of the slime block machines kind of shuffling around one another. It's so cool.
Quintuple piston extender, a few triple piston extenders. It's it was quite challenging.
Okay, so everything's been pretty cool so far. Lots of very nice farms, lots of really inspirational stuff. But the next thing that I want to show you is silly. So silly, in fact, that I thought I would come back out into this little Minecraft world right here just to do a piece to the camera to say how silly this is. It's silly. It's silly that anyone would ever do it. I still don't fully understand. I still don't fully understand, and I'm sure you'll see what I mean when we get back into the world. Wow, this looks.
Be careful.
This isn't chunk errors.
Oh wow.
Чего?
Okay, so this is. Wow.
Mambo, have you ever thought, I want to play Skyblock in a normal vanilla survival world?
I have never thought that, but
We did.
You guys have.
Что?
Have what?
Yeah, so
Они создали Skyblock в обычном режиме.
the initial plan was to make a 1K by 1K perimeter, and then XCOM developed
Они уничтожили все, включая
methods or faster bedrock breaking methods,
включая Bedrock.
and also the complete Team SciCraft developed fast Y0 bedrock remover because you can't use the Dragon Axe for the bedrock on the lowest layer.
Right, okay.
And I'm not entirely sure how the idea came around, but at some point someone said, yeah, let's just remove the 1k by 1k perimeter all the way to the bedrock, then the normal bedrock, and after that also the Y0 bedrock to have a complete void perimeter.
A void perimeter. This is awesome.
Капец.
And yeah.
And so
this is the current state.
so this is a work in progress. The strips are gradually being removed.
Yep.
Yes.
In survival, they're much smaller already.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually from 2 weeks ago, but now there's probably only half of it left.
Wow.
Of the bedrock.
Like half of what's here left.
Yep.
And this is a 1,000 block by 1,000 block perimeter.
Yep.
And there's no reason for it whatsoever, just kind of...
Я даже стандартные методы не
We
знаю.
started this project about 2 years ago. We wanted to build mob farms.
Разве что яйцами.
Just the idea, make a huge perimeter, build all the mob farms you ever need there.
Yeah.
But then over time, new developments came along. For example, it turned out it's really beneficial to build a mob farm in a desert biome.
Right, I
and
see.
then it's just not the right location anymore.
Yep.
And we already progressed quite a lot. And then, I don't know, just we kept going. We had all those nice machines.
Столько, блин, этих
in order to remove
поршней.
bedrock, and it just kept going. And in the end, we want to just play Skyblock here.
I love that. Just play Skyblock. I mean, yeah, being able to play Skyblock in a legitimate survival world is hilarious. That is the most hilarious idea in the world, and I look forward to seeing your totally legitimate Skyblock Let's Play on the SciCraft server.
We also got a machine still prepared that would remove some of the bedrock.
I should mention, this is Pingu's flying machine.
Это всё карта.
On the flying machine. This guy over here. Mad guy.
Mad guy.
Mad at flying machines.
So we had a fully AFK Dragon Egg placing machine and bedrock removal machine.
Wow.
So yeah, this was a super complex machine. It's been removed by now to make space. But that was basically what we did in order to remove the first 4 layers of bedrock.
Yep.
But we can't use the technique for the
Да, я
bottom layer.
понял, да.
And there we need to use one of those machines, which we can now launch.
Wow. So even this machine on its own is pretty crazy looking.
Okay, I'm gonna start it.
We had to build 200 of those machines until the project is finished.
Mango, what's your personal best with building one of these machines now?
Yeah, since we had to build this so often, I started speedrunning it to get more efficient in it and just having fun with it.
Yeah.
I can build one of those machines now in under 10 minutes. I think the best time was 9 minutes and 5
Как
seconds.
она ломает?
What? No, that's got to be a joke. There's no way.
No, he streams.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
stream it regularly.
Also, this is not the first version of the machine we built. It was...
This is version 94 or something.
Yeah, I've done also a lot of improvements to just get quick at it. Yeah. Okay, should we
Really
explain
optimized.
how it works?
Yeah, it might be a good idea, because I must admit, I'm not even 100% certain how the bedrock breakers work.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's probably best if you go in spectator mode and look at the machine from below bedrock level.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we basically trick pistons to retract while facing into a bedrock block. That removes it. So here we put in pistons from the side as the cartridge. And there you go, the bedrock got removed because
Wow.
the pistons retracted. What we basically need to do is the
А вот почему здесь так много поршней сбоку.
and then we schedule the retraction event, then quickly replace them with the other pistons that face down, and then those will retract instead.
Офигеть.
And we need the headless pistons to remove the other pistons real quick.
So I've just realized why you need 1 million pistons, because they are literally being...
They're used up.
1,000 by 1,000 is 1 million, and you are blowing them up. Or they're breaking, and then they are literally being blown up.
They drop. It's not really feasible to collect them. Maybe it's possible somehow, but...
Офигеть, эта машина прикольная.
Yeah.
Basically, the headless piston pulls the downwards facing one through the upwards facing one, deletes the upwards facing one, and the retraction event from the upwards facing one is used on a downwards facing one then. Yeah, because the
Piston,
downwards
like-
facing one is pulling through the bedrock.
Загружать
and
эти
always removes that block.
поршни
Yeah.
это та еще задача. То есть их
Basically,
нельзя
like,
поставить просто внизу.
downward facing piston is extended and it has a retraction event.
Их надо ставить так, чтобы потом подвинуть
Then we
вниз.
use a headless piston to finish that retraction instantly.
Right.
And with the headless sticky piston, pull the other piston through it instantly also to there.
Yep.
So it's instantly there. And then that's also why these pistons have to be facing down. And then
Такая шелуха еще падает из
retraction.
поршней.
Man, this is
Капец.
a strange.
It's magic.
It is very magical.
Yeah, it's magic.
I would 100% describe this as magical. I told you, incredibly silly, and I love it. We then pop through into the Nether to take a look at some of the Nether-based farms.
Они так катаются волнами, жесть.
And also the old Wither
Там кто-то еще
farm. All of
заспавнился.
these things have now been made.
Охренеть!
A new, totally ridiculous farm has been built by the members of the SciCraft server that's so incredibly fast. Now, they haven't actually released this onto YouTube just yet, but I will play you a very quick screenshot. There it is! So, everything's been very technical throughout all of these worlds. Screenshot. There it is!
Что с ним не так?
So, everything's been very technical throughout all of these world tours, and I thought it would be good to round everything off by taking a look at something incredibly pretty. And also quite technical. Oh wow, this is beautiful. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, this is one of the few places where a lot of effort was put into decoration.
This is really nice. And of course it's a perimeter. I mean...
Она уничтожала bedrock.
This is amazing looking.
Oh,
so we desperately needed some bones, and Mango was working on some new mob farm concepts.
Right.
And then we decided, okay, let's build the mob farm Mango designed, and that's what you see in the middle in the big.
Now I'm curious as to.
Это выглядит как город такой.
This is I'm curious as to what this is.
Okay, so this is a general mob farm,
right?
For zombies, skeletons, creepers, and witches by now as well.
Crashman stream, спасибо за
the
follow.
perimeter looked quite boring. It was just a sandstone slab floor.
Yep.
And then we decided to, since this is a temporary mob farm and nothing too crazy and doesn't run on lag limits, we can put a bit of decoration in and make it at least look cool so we can be proud of it.
Yeah. This is pretty quick.
It's decent, it's 80,000.
Вау, как оно двигается там.
Stop down talking our farms, it's 80,000 blocks per hour.
But this is the farm we built because we didn't want to build a big one yet. Because we don't have the place yet, right? So this is quote unquote temporary.
Yeah, this is the temporary.
Золотой выжил.
The fact that these sorts of things are temporary. Now, this uses a similar system, I'm guessing, to the witch huts with the trapdoors on the inside and everything like that.
I mean, for how simple this design is, it's actually unbeat.
Yeah. Oh, this is fantastic. This is amazing. I was actually wondering the other day if you could use large-scale shifting floors to make a big mob farm like this, and clearly you can, and clearly it works really quite well. This is really good. And it's beautiful. The design around it as well is absolutely stunning. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. That rounds up the SciCraft World Tour series. Obviously, if you want to see more from the SciCraft server, then once again, please do check out the
Почему здесь написано Remonic the World?
I know that a lot of the members create videos on the server and live stream as well, so you can see everything that they're up to and all future projects, because they have things in the works that are even more crazy than this. Believe it or not. I know. It's difficult to believe. Anyway, thank you ever so much for all the positive support on this series. I'm really glad to see that you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please just hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure...
Мы сделаем скайблок в ваниле.
14 skyblock will be quite interesting. The traits that the Wandering Trader offers, which we filled ourselves with the help of a data pack. For example, we added a Nether War trait, which is not in vanilla Minecraft, or a sweet berry trade, a cocoa bean trade, also a lava bucket trade. So that's our way to get to the nether at some point. Just gonna search for the lava bucket trade. Of course, it's random. Probably need to go through a bunch of wandering traders.
Он так их сталкивает.
Offer us a lava bucket trade. Oh, soulstone is also one of the things we get from the wandering trader, and chorus flower. Soulstone is important so we can get a wizard at some point.
У него что, вообще в любые блоки бывает?
Yeah, so that's our way to get to the nether dimension. At some point we need to buy enough lava to make an obsidian portal. We also added a few custom features. You will be able to smelt cobblestone in a blast furnace into smooth stone, and also you will be able to smelt logs into charcoal in the blast furnace. Then for the normal furnace we added a custom recipe. You will be able to smelt gas tiers into quartz, since we really don't want to play without comparators and observers in the 1.14 skyblock.
Серьезно?
Then we also have
Вы об этом знали? Слеза Гаста может превратить... Слезу Гаста можно пережарить в кварц. Охренеть!
By crafting with a slime ball and blaze powder. So this is an incentive to actually make a magma cube farm at some point to get magma blocks. So
они сделали крафт.
Shulker shells or sponges are also not obtainable, since those mobs also wouldn't generate with the world generation. But we might
Чтобы продвигать скайблок. Окей.
those things later.
Ну ладно. Думаю, это сейчас не будем смотреть. Ладно, на этом я сегодня закончу стримчик. Это будет очень странное видео на ютубе. Удачки всем. Спасибо, что были здесь. Спасибо, что смотрели. Завтра у нас тоже стрим. Завтра будет матчи по турниру. Какие, кстати? Что-то не загружается. Ладно, неважно. Удачки всем. Пока. До встречи. До завтра.